And that is the question, you know. So, in other words, Mr. Benjamin, Deputy Commissioner, the parents was not addressed.
The Homeland Security Minister says parents must play a more active role in matters involving their children. Minister Alexander pointed to incidents of children becoming lost during Trinidad and Tobago Carnival as an example of why parental input is essential. He said situations like these highlight the need for parents to work closely with authorities and event organizers to help safeguard children during major public events.
The parents was not addressed in that question at all. So it was what the police doing. So what about the parents? What did the parents do or didn't do? I guess that is not important. I guess the important is what strategy you have. So when they stray from their parents, you can find them and safely return them. I guess that's the conversation. No guidance from the parents.
The minister suggested that parents' involvement is critical to ensuring better outcomes and stronger support systems for young people. Minister Alexander made his comments as he addressed his ministry's seminar on vulnerable youth on Thursday. As the dry season intensifies, the risk of bushfires, the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service is urging the public to exercise greater caution. Fire Sub-Officer Jude Rogers warns that figures recorded so far this year are already a cause for concern. With more than 400 bushfires recorded already this year, Fire Sub-Officer Jude Rogers is highlighting a troubling trend, noting that the vast majority of fires in the bush are caused by human activity.
For the first 2 months of January and February of this year, we're well over 400 fires that we've responded to. And I dare say we probably responded to more because a lot of the fires that we deal with is just one after the next. And a lot of the fires, we're not able to get to every single one.
This alarming statistic underscores the preventable nature of these fires, which continue to put both lives and the environment at risk.
The human impact or the human interaction with the flora and fauna and with land and property has been the #1 cause of fires in Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm talking about whether it's casual flicking of a cigarette butt out of your window, the throwing out of a bottle as you drive along the nation's highway, littering of glass and all of these things which magnify the sun's reflection, causes heat to build up and it can cause fires to start.
Mr. Rogers noted that these fires continue to place a strain on the response to other emergencies across the country. He also reminded the public that permits for private bush burning must be obtained from the fire service at a cost of TT $10, warning that failure to do so could result in a fine of up to $20,000. In some sport news now, Game 1 of the Big Four playoffs in the National Basketball Club Championship First Division is set to begin this evening with a doubleheader at the Southern Regional Indoor Sport Arena in Pleasantville. In the 7 p.m. match, we'll see the third-place seeded team, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, take on second-place Elite. In the second match, carded for an 8:30 p.m. tip-off time, we'll see first-seeded Leeds Maloney Pacers take on fourth-place Straker Nets. Both matches will be conducted in a best-of-3 series format, with the winners advancing to the finals. And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is Vermala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Good morning, Vermala.
Good morning, Carrie. How are you today?
I'm great. Happy Friday. Happy
Friday. The weekend is finally just around the corner, and I cannot be happy about that.
Oh, can I, there's always, it's nice to have that 2 days to just like ease off, get things you want to get done, things around the house if you have chores, which it is.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM. Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
All you ever notice how water is part of everything we do? From singing in the shower, to washing the car, to cooling off after a long day. Here's a friendly reminder from WASA. Before you move, before you relax, before you enjoy the day, pay your WASA bill. It's easy to do. Pay online anytime at wasa.gov.tt. Visit a WASA customer service center. Use the self-service kiosk or pay at authorized partners like Western Union and commercial banks. Water is life, and we're evolving to serve you. Join the evolution. Pay your bill. This message is brought to you by the Water and Sewerage Authority.
This isn't just radio. This is your voice, your city, your platform. Who else? Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry-Leen Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
It's all good right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on night.
Fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Into the darkness you shine.
Time check, it's 13 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. Yours truly, the Pitbull of radio, in studio. Not forgetting Director Snipes, the big word man, Lennox Smith. Let me just make sure Nigel Snipes in order. Director Snipes, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Andy. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Nice. Well, I know when Lennox ready, you go, let me see him. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Our God is healer, awesome in power.
Yeah, the big wood man himself. That senatorial appointment had to come, man. It looked like it's coming, man. So we're looking there, man. Senator. Shift that camera team in a more corner there, so. I like how he looking. He looking like he has somebody saying down to the side of him there, so. Yeah, let you watch Senator Lennox Smith. Oh boy. Hey, Wendy and John, good morning to you, Bujam John. And Moon Sami, good morning. Groove Master Songs, a pleasant good morning to you. Pamela Palu, good morning, Tara. Hey, Jacqueline Sami, a pleasant good morning. Primrose, good morning. Hey, Desmond Hines, good morning to you. Hey, Rena, a pleasant good morning to you. Pearl Danielson, good morning. All Taras, a good morning, Budram John. Jillian John, a pleasant good morning to you. Nice, that's what we're talking about there, man. Matilda Rhodes, good morning. And Maria Amin, a pleasant good morning to you. Marlene Chicharan, good morning. Peter Samlal Singh, good morning to you. Hey, Cindy Mohan, good morning. But meanwhile, I would like my co-hosts to go in the papers and touch one or two of those headliners. To me and all, yeah. While the Pitbull try to find the glasses. And they are squeezing my calling names, eh? I feel like I'm a guy headache, yes? Are you looking for this thing? Glasses expensive, you know. Look on you. Hafrina, Mohammed, good morning. I don't say Cindy Mohan. Esther Smith, good morning. Nadia, good morning. Gloria, good morning. Escala, good morning. Just cool, a pleasant good morning to you. Kamala Samlal Singh, good morning. Denise, hey, my God, it's rain all going on up there in the Martin, y'all. I show Hines and them going to win back that the Martin cooperation. No, them not going to win that at all because down in the Martin, they up in your side, they back tell they. The two water still in the road coming out of the pipe there, so you ask the cooperation to do that and they fix it already, eh? So that's why they go people go and vote them back because they go cooperation is real work for the go people. What? Did they handle the go people? Nice. Yeah. In so long you're complaining. Yeah, they go Martin Corporation don't nobody else but P&M, you know? Imagine that. People at they go Martin is be crying. That's wrong, that wrong, all kind of thing wrong. And yet still, that corporation controlled by the P&M. Well, boy, all you have to be begging for all you want from now till never really to happen. Eddie O'Brady Bunch, good morning. Ramona Singh, good morning. Richard Chamaraj, a pleasant good morning to you. Pamela Palu, good morning. Eleanor! Don't call me husky voice at all, you know. You tell me I have a real... Where's our man with his real talk with a kind of voice they have how women weak? Always call her. You have a real voice when you talk... Lennox Smith, you know the man. The movie star. He just talk there so in a kind of way they... How you call that man with a nice, real nice voice? You don't even see him. From the time he talks, so women just go on the taking off the engagement ring, wedding band, the forgetting boyfriend, everything. They just run into that voice. How you call that man with that voice again?
I can't define specifically, but certainly that's something like James Bond. In addition to which, of course, generally such a voice is called a dulcet sounding voice. Sweet sounding. Yes, dulcet sounding. Yes.
Dulcet sounding. But you got to go back to the way them kind of old movie ways was James Bond 007.
yeah. I had to go back there. Yeah.
Give me a model movie by old man.
Cagney and all these fellas. Yes. Even this very old star. What was his name? He started one of the first set of James Bond series movies. Roger Moore. Roger Moore. Yes, that's the guy. Yeah. You will know them names.
Well, just now you're going to tell me about them big Western and them too. What was one of them big Western back in your time?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, my good friend who I missed, profusely,
John Wayne?
But passed on. Yeah, John Wayne and others, but just want to make sure that we put things in perspective. Mr. Aruka, he would every night will give me a movie to watch. But of course, I stopped asking him for movies when he was only giving me black and white movies.
Oh, sir!
Yeah, that's how far back he went. I said, well, just now you give me movies that had no song. only pantomime. You had to figure out what they're saying because they're only making gestures. Yeah, but I remember as well, my son, when he saw his first black and white movie, he said, Daddy, listen, them people sell us a pirated movie. Because he don't know anything about black and white. He only know about color. So when he saw the movie, he said, this movie pirate, that is why the quality is such. I said, no. At one time, there were only black and white that we had to accept. Right? So the technology.
How about your favorite karates? Wait. Give me one of your favorite karates.
Yeah, well, of course, you can't leave out Jet Li. Come on. I mean, yeah, that's my boy. I mean,
how about Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee was earlier, but certainly Jet Li brought a different twist to the to karate and martial arts and making sacrifices and extending the body to feat that normally you would not be able to contemplate or have your own body, your general body, accomplish. So yeah. So that is where we are.
Lennox Smith, let me know how old he is by just telling me. So you still have big back TV and thing home there then? Them big back TV them. Yeah.
No. I've gone since you guys when you all had the modern technological advanced phones. Remember that? All this other mama guy man tell me was still doing with that Me Too and so on, and I had to, of course, upgrade and adjust and adapt.
Oh, so no big back TV. I wonder that people still holding big back TV in their house and all kind of bacchanal thing there. So
yeah.
What the white potty? That people still have white potty and thing in the house and them kind of bacchanal thing.
Yeah, there's a little. It seemed to be defunct now, but still provided to the public at the corner of Queen and Nelson Street. If you go there, there's an old pharmacy was there, but the proprietor now, he shows to the public on a provide that service on a big back TV, as you would say, them camelback type movie. Televisions, yeah, old time television. He still, I mean, it's scratchy. The quality of the film, you can hardly make it out, etc. Sometimes when you think something is green, it's really blue, and all of that. But it appears that he has a customer base who, of course, will come there lime and talk and so on and watch even major football episodes and tournaments and cricket. So I was wondering, well, I ain't doing that far less for people in this modern times who would, of course, tolerate that level of poor quality. But to each his own. Let me put it that way.
Oh boy. Well,
so remember, you have gotten, of course, a brief history as to where television came from and some of the stars of yesteryears. Go ahead, my friend.
Right. Somebody said the actor name is Earl James Jones. Right, with the smooth voice, but all in all, you said the name of as a real attractive smooth voice person, you give it a name. What is that name?
Roger
Because
Moore. Dulcet sounding, dulcet sweet sounding,
dulcet sweet sounding.
Yeah.
Them kids and them learned something this morning.
Yeah.
Even big people learned something this morning. So we know for sure my voice is a husky voice, and them kind of nice voices be dulcet smooth sounding. Okay.
Yes, that's right. Smooth sounding, yes.
Smooth sounding. Nice. So now we're putting all focus
pleasing to the air. Dulcet, dulcet.
Well, that means Jim Jones had that kind of voice because he make people kill himself. So that means Hitler and all, he make the whole of Germany believe in him and they fight a war. However, so all of them that kill millions of people, them are them kind of voice and dulcet.
Well, there's a difference between the voice itself and charisma or being charismatic, because of course you can have a ugly voice like Hitler's. It can be. I don't think you could say that is a smooth, nice, acceptable, sweet to the air voice. However, but there are other factors such as, of course, the gesticulation and appearing to be strong, and the language and the choice of words, etc. Makes one, as I said, one who could influence people and therefore cause them to do things or make them do things that they would not normally do or would irrationally pursue. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Brown say no, Andy, it's not the same. Well, all right. What you have for us in our headliners, especially in our
yes.
Yes,
I am depressed this morning
right,
in the sense that I had
on you, it's on you, so watch the people and think they wanna just do something.
Yeah. All right, I certainly will. The camera is a bit high compared to where I'm sitting, so therefore I'll have to look up. So
well,
I will
look, I
certainly
seen
do
you
that.
good there now. You're looking like you.
Yeah, of course.
But Titi,
Yes,
you walk to read news, boy. You're looking like a news editor, boy. You're looking like a news anchor.
Who knows what in me chain pass you according to my mother.
Well, let me see you talk like you're reading news and like you're talking, you're reaching the people in the eyes. Let me see.
Anyhow, people, I'm very concerned this morning with respect, of course, and it has to do with the law enforcement agency in two contexts. The first one is that Frank who? Andy, let me hear you. Your favorite judge.
Frank C. Prasad.
C. Prasad, that's right, that's the man. Who, of course, decried the DPP, indicating that there's too much delay. Two police officers were charged for the robbery of a Chinese couple somewhere in Kurup. And they had to take the DPP to court because of the delay in the prosecution or having them spend inordinate time in the criminal justice system. And Frank Prasad give the DPP a month in order to make adjustments. If not, he will dismiss the case. I suppose why he didn't say that, but that is the all obvious repercussions if, of course, the DPP did not come up with the evidence to begin the trial of these two men. And he said it is unjust. The DPP has a duty to act on a timely basis, and certainly all this time that has elapsed does not suggest that it is a serious DPP. So that is one aspect of it. But last night, I was called by someone who I was assisting in terms of her son. So it's a she, yes, and it has no relationship with anything else but someone who I would assist as I would normally do anyone, whether it's male or female. So let me get that clear. But I had to go to the Belmont police station around 11 o'clock, 11:30 thereabout, to collect someone that was the son of that person who was kept in custody since last week Tuesday, and they just called and released him. And why he was detained or was in custody, and of course being treated as a normal criminal would be, as in a cell, etc. You had to carry clothes for him, food for him, etc. Because the food that is provided is sometimes questionable. Let me put it that way. I don't want to use any aspersion that would cause any reduction in the provision of food items to persons who are in custody. But the fact is that here it is under the SOE. That is where I'm going. Under the SOE, that exercise and that subjection of this young man took place. And of course, every time inquiries would have been made, is either the information is scarce. I'm talking about since last week, Tuesday. So that's over what? Just over nine days or so. And not only that the responses to those who are supposed to be taking care of these persons that would have been there under suspicion of something, and in this case it was association with gang, because the constant refrain was that he was held there by the anti-gang squad, if you want to call it that, and he remained there, and he had his work would have been in jeopardy if again another intervention was not made. I called his employer and said, well, listen, this is what has transpired. He has a week's pay inside. Don't give it to anyone until he gets out. I expect that this matter will be resolved, because it may not have been last night. It could have been further, because there was information that he would have been taken up to the remand prison, either in Golden Grove or farther afield, to keep him there further. But no charge, that's the point I am making, no charge over this long period, and could have, of course, jeopardized even the opportunity for him to mind his children, because he has 3 young kids. I'm talking about, none of them is more than 5 years of age. 3 he has, right? And he's about what, maybe about 27, 25, thereabout, about 25 years, if not younger. And I was appalled, and it looked as though I was looking at the law to see whether or not the urgency of calling around almost midnight to have someone collect him might have been because there was a time frame in which you can keep a person in custody, even though is under the SOE. So I'll be looking at that a little more over the weekend and bring that to the attention of the people. But the fact is that whilst he was there was a lot of what I consider to be unnecessary recriminations and unnecessary accusations by the police themselves. A female officer was there, and she said, don't bring things like orange and fruits for him, because all they're trying to treat him otherwise, but he's a prisoner, and words to that effect, which I thought was excoriating. I thought it does not project what we assume the police is attempting to do in terms of transformation and to get the cooperation of the ordinary people, particularly in crime hotspot areas, because he lives in a crime spot area designated by the police, and therefore the possibility that you could get caught up, whether you are involved or not, is real. And just being outside linemen. And a word of caution to those young people. I keep saying, and I will repeat this until the day I die, or the air come out of my body, my lungs, that if you know that you are in a hotspot environment, the police will normally profile young people in particular in a particular way. The way you dress, the way your hair is groomed, the company that you would have kept. All of that are crucial to making certain that at least you are bypassed and not seen as what the profile, and you can't vex with the police, because if those are the kinds of individuals that they have to encounter in terms of criminal behavior, conduct, gang affiliation and gang warfare, etc., then you are going to be targeted. And I make the point over and over that even if, because we have some fellas going CIC and so on, not that the institution is important, but to tell you how bright they are and how focused their parents are on them, and therefore that is an exception. But if you are living in a high-rise apartment block as one of the AGC buildings, let's say in East Port of Spain, but you have a common recreational area which is around the ground floor, then your friends obviously may be living on top of you because it's a high-rise, on top of you, and you have to play football or associate or cricket, wherever it is, in that common recreational area. If the police has information about a particular individual, and then you who have no such attraction to the police, the likelihood that they will pick you up as well simply because you are in a situation where the space that you occupy and the people that you associate with, you have no choice, that is your neighbor, then the likelihood that you will be seen or should I say profiled as the police would have had information, even though they don't know you, they will see you as another one because you are looking no different to the person who they are looking for or who they are familiar with, and you will be subjected to the same treatment as that.
Yes, which also means profiling.
Yes.
Profiling.
Yeah, you see.
But
and therefore it triggers it triggers a number of other things. It triggers concern about with the parents. The parents have to now run up and down the place to justify or to ameliorate the situation, to show that this young man is not involved and so on, simply because his friend, he has no choice, is living on the upper floor. They have no choice because they occupy a common recreational space, and the police has information on his friend. He ends up in that melee as well. On the other hand, I'm saying police also have the duty and responsibility to be more discerning, do a thorough investigation. Go ahead.
Yeah, but profiling is profiling any day. If you're chopping and you want to wear the white vest and the this and the that, and you want to look like a criminal and be part of your partners and them and wherever, whether you're not involved or not, you'll just get picked. That is all, you get picked out. It is what it is. Let me go for the quick break and come back. When we come back, more right here on the Ground Report. We'll be back. When we come back, the lines are open.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Jerry Lean Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
So I got right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
All you ever notice how water is part of everything we do? From singing in the shower, to washing the car, to cooling off after a long day. Here's a friendly reminder from Wassa. Before you move, before you relax, before you enjoy the day, pay your Wassa bill. It's easy to do. Pay online anytime at wassa.gov.tt. Visit a Wassa customer service center. Use the self-service kiosk or pay at authorized partners like Western Union and commercial banks. Water is life, and we're evolving to serve you. Join the evolution. Pay your bill. This message is brought to you by the Water and Sewage Authority.
This is Destra. And right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Well, Trinidad and Tobago, we are back. Time check, it's approximately 38 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. I'm going to play your voice notes in a little bit here there now. Maybe just let Lennox wrap up on the profiling. And there's, besides the profiling aspect, you give you a touch of exactly what is the headliners in the Koki papers and them this morning?
Yes, indeed, of course. So that is something that I'm obligated to. But the fact of the matter is that in addition to what I've just said earlier, there is a responsibility of the parents and or the guardians of these young people. It is not sufficient to say that I make the child, but I make the mind. You make the mind, and you have to also shape the mind as well as they engage in the sociological aspect of their biological existence. Let me repeat that. As they engage in the sociological aspect of their biological existence. Biological meaning that they're human beings, of course, but they have to engage. The human beings are gregarious animals. They live in group. And of course, there is something also called institutions of social control, whether it be the family, they learn the first what language you have to speak, what are the etiquette requires, what are the societal norms and values that you inculcate, quite apart from the fact that when you go to school, you get some of that as well. And when you go to your churches, you get some of that. And of course, if that doesn't work, then of course you have the police, the courts, and the prison to have you conform. That is the reality.
I have it easier. I could explain it even easier than you did. Easier than you.
Go ahead.
People that have cats. People that have dogs. People that have parrot. I see people train down to a goat. Go in the corner there and the goat listening. Sit. I say, but what is this boy? A goat. And if people that have animals, and we are part of the animal kingdom, but we are the higher echelons of it all. But if people could train their dog and cat, go from there, sit, go outside, and them listening, that it means they understand that they have an animal, they have to train. They even just train cats, especially cats. I don't like cats. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't like them. I ain't like them pussycat at all, really. But it's nice, you know. But I don't like them pussycat and them because of the tutu. It's like ammonia. And then as while growing up, my mother bring one in the house to catch rats.
Ammonia or ammonia?
Ammonia, well,
it's like ammonia.
It's like ammonia.
You're talking about this stage, ammonia, yes.
Yeah, boy.
That's a stinging sensation to the olfactory nerves.
It could throw it down, Lennox. When you ever smell all that smell, boy?
Yeah.
Especially when you have to clean it. It go get a hard cover. It's still smelling, but it'll get a hard cover. And when you have to clean that and you break that hard cover, partner, you feeling like you say pneumonia?
Well, I would want to direct your attention to our good friend who has a lot of cats, and let's see.
But she trains the cats and them to outside, so she don't have to face that. So if you can train,
so it's in line with the training, is it depending on the training? Go ahead.
So if you can train your cat, you can train your dog, you can train your partner all to talk certain things. You just have to talk where you want to talk. How you telling me you can't train your children? Nah, man. How you telling me parenting don't play a role in the direction of where kids going and go? How you any parent can tell me that? Come on, man.
And what I just told you there is an anecdote, a real one. I overheard a parent speaking in that tone and in that way on Nelson Street, Lower Nelson Street. So it's nothing that that is fictitious. Is real, and I'm saying so really against the background that right now, contemplation or there is laws that talks about parental responsibility, and while I would not have gone as harsh as is being proposed or is being executed, that is to say, to hold your child vicariously or as if it was you responsible for his or her criminal behavior. I would not have gone there. I would have preferred, as I've said, not only here but long before, and I'm sure that you would witness that and can confirm that I have always said that yes, you must have parental responsibility legislation. I've put that in documentation. I sent it to Rowley. I sent it, of course, to the present Prime Minister, etc. When she was in opposition. But I would prefer that both parents be found, and if the child would have done something that is of a criminal nature, if an adult person would have done it, then both of them must attend court when the charges would have been laid on that particular child. Attend the court, and that way you create a situation where there's an economic problem, and therefore the child would want to, the parents now will want to make certain to find out who the child associates with, whether they go to school or not, going to the school to find out what is happening in the schools in terms of their functionality and whether they are receptive, and of course monitor them much more, what I consider to be, intensely. That is where I would have gone if we are talking about parental responsibility legislation.
Nice. But while we do
charge the parent for what the child did, I think to me, it's not where I would want to go. But
some people are saying at the end of the day, let me say morning to Nazalian, Mr. Ali, a pleasant good morning to you. Hey, Bernadette, good morning. Krishna, good morning. Anne Brown. Andy, I own the keys to my castle. In a home, there are parents and children. That's the dog read not reach yet. Oh, the dog read. Oh, Patricia Reed. That dog ain't reach yet. No, she's not a dog. She's a dog. Oh, all right. Let me continue. You see, people looking for Patricia Reed. Yes, what the hell? Right. Somebody say we love cat. We cat lovers does put cat litter for the cats to use, or there's put the cat litter for the cats to use. Joyce Ram is saying, yes, Andy, it's all in the mind of the individual. Some of them children have good parental training, and when they are outside, it's a different story. Well, all of we who grow up with children and them get good parental training, we train them to be outside too. They be outside too. So it's based on that training, you still get them because they will be outside either or. It's
you cannot prevent peer pressure.
Exactly.
There's something called peer pressure. There's something called associations. But your child must be strong enough, as I would tell my son,
to that.
You are a leader. There's no need to follow, particularly where you know that what you are being exposed to by your peers is not right. It is wrong, and therefore you must be individual. You must be individual in your thoughts and say no and find ways to resist that. Nobody can make you do what you know is wrong and you don't want to do.
Right. She out there in St. Lucia is saying, Andy, you must have cat litter in your house. Oh, but meaning, all right, all that, maybe not litters in the tutu, they're talking about
the
toilet.
Dedicated material.
All right, the toilet. Let me say the toilet.
The cluster.
Yeah, the cat toilet. Yeah, man, cat, there's a toilet and thing, There's buy expensive toilet for the cat. Imagine that. You know that? You never see a real expensive toilet to them buy for cat?
Yeah. I've seen, I've read of persons who would have left all their fortunes to the cats and some other animal. Yeah.
My God. No, well, if I'm anyhow, oh boy. Let me play some voice note there quick.
Yeah.
Because we had to go for
Let's
the
go
next-
there, and then of course we'll get back to some of the substantive news today. But then, on a Friday we try to deal with matters that we would not have been able to cover during the course of the week. So you will forgive us, of course. That doesn't mean that you will not bring your front burner issue, whether it is contemporary or whether it's something that we missed during the course of the week. So we go to the voicemails now.
Hey, Andy, morning, and then morning. I still have my wrong back TV because I buy 2 flat screen. About 3 flat screen already, and I come and just mash up and leave my wrong back. So leave my wrong back, yeah. And that wrong back lasting real long. And look how much flat screen I see people put out by the road already, kind of thing. Leave my wrong back. Yes. I have 2 flat screen right now and a wrong back. Still, you understand? Yeah, buy one day, and I'm a wrong back. And I have a next one. So leave my wrong back, yes. My flat screen TV waste of time. My wrong back is longer.
So wrong back is that's a good one. Eh?
Yeah, tube versus plasma. Tube versus plasma.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Morning, Pitbull. When I watched that debate, and yes, the PNM opposition, they're ridiculous and they're really out of place. And I think the person who brought up that motion or something like that, he wasn't even there. The man from Lavati, he was that's what he thought. He just talked like that. The lipstick man. He from Lavati, he wasn't there. I think he was doing motion or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, I watched it and it was getting ridiculous. So I had to go to the station, go do something, and I come back. When I come back, it was all end. I went to do something. Maybe I went to the toilet because I had so much crap I heard from the pain. I had to use the bathroom. They were all rubbish. Ridiculous, wasting the damn speaker and the house stand. I mean, this PNM are ridiculous. They have nothing to do. They already don't stay on the kitchen. Listen.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Gong reporters. Morning, TNT. Morning, Tobago. Morning, outsiders. Those are them first world countries. Are them all who does listen to me, Andy. See all who does listen to me all from China, Japan. Good morning to you all. Hey, Andy. I hear you just now, but at the end of the day, we try to say we can't buy a white vest and porn by. So it's only criminals alone that's wear white vest. Because how you sound there? It's like you're telling me if I live in on Nelson Street in one of them plannings and them, and it have a certain group of people wearing a certain type of clothes, I mustn't wear, so I mustn't go in the store and buy a white vest upon because I'm going to be looking like a criminal or be a part of a criminal. Come on, man. A white vest and that clothing and nothing to do with it. You understand? Because them police are doing the investigation, they drive on Mark Hunting and his people in the neighborhood that's talking. So people that play like they don't know that, but that's gone. Trust what I'm saying. So I believe I would like to explain yourself a little more better when it concerning that white vest. Come on, if I feel to go and buy a white vest and porn, I don't mean to say I part of a criminal activity or I looks like a criminal. You're telling people what kind of clothes to wear.
Right, and as you say, to explain it to you. I too, if I want to wear a white vest and wherever, and I buy my thing if I want to, if it go. But if I live in a various area, I just being very smart. And I know it has something called profiling. Just like how I go to school with some individuals and when I pass down to check my mom and I see them and they say, hey, let me get a drop out the road. I just shut down my vehicle. I not giving them a drop. Well, I am not a criminal. I not a car thief. Me not a gun runner. Or none of them things. Or selling weed and cocaine and them things. No. But I smart enough to understand. Although I am not involved in those things, steady rank, that I can be profiled. While going out the road, the criminal that looking for he in my car, they coming to shoot he, I gonna get shoot too. Police who looking for he, pull up on my car, and you know how the hand hot. Oh, like he gonna pull that gun. Blah, 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 blah. I going and get shoot too. The elements in my area that are known criminals, if they're wearing vests, white vests, black pants and slippers, and have a pouch in front of them, I not point on that, partner. If you want to and end up as statistics, that is you. Simple. I can't tell you what to wear. I can't tell nobody what to wear. I can't tell nobody what to do. All I can do is tell or teach an individual how to be smart. Because what? Because I could buy, I independent. You want to play with that with your life? You want to play that with game profile and having to have to go to court and there's to prove, well, you's not one of them? What is the logical thing to do? What I am saying or what you saying? Think about it. And any one of you all out there that I now explain and break it down, you all think about it. You choose to do what I say best don't do, especially if you live in various areas. That high profiling is going when it comes to police and criminal elements. That is when there's a bad boy and you're in trouble, there's not only police to be looking for, you know. Your own partner who used to line with you and drink with you, run woman with you, when he end up a boss there too, he looking for you too, you know. It's friend of me, you know. So, each and every one of you out there have a choice. Your parents, some of your parents may talk like how I talk. If you want to take my advice, take it. If you don't, well then we'll be hearing a story about your innocent, my child innocent, but he was moving with shooter. He was moving with Scarface. You know what I will say? He looked for that. He should know better.
Bang, 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 bang.
Let me just continue those voices. Go ahead, Lennox.
We have to go for a break, boy. But I could put my neck on a limb here. I think Teddy is just being devil's advocate. A man like him, he understands it well, I'm certain. But let's go for the break, and when we come back more, and we will further engage. Very, very interesting this last day of the week for the ground report on 91.1. Let's go for the break, and when we come back more.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens. Because your world can't wait. Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Inspired by actual events.
Everybody has a fear of something, right? Well, so do I.
This is Janine. Despite resolving an incident in the past, Janine developed the fear of late electricity bill payments.
Current gonophobia is no joke. Sometimes I would even black out. It was horrible. I felt so afraid and powerless.
Thankfully, Janine took charge of her life when she was encouraged to sign up for TNTech's free online e-bill service.
E-billing is such a brilliant idea. Signing up was a breeze, thanks to that knowledgeable CSR. And now I have the power to pay my bill on time, fearlessly. Thanks, TNTech.
Visit ttec.co.tt to sign up for e-billing today. TNTech, the power to make it work.
She leads, she inspires, she makes history. This is Women Who Lead, a special International Women's Day feature on Talk City 91.1 FM.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
Today on Women Who Lead, we spotlight Audrey Jeffers. Long before women held seats in Parliament in the significant numbers, Audrey Jeffers was already breaking barriers. A pioneering social worker and parliamentarian, Audrey Jeffers made history in 1936 when she became the first woman elected to the Legislative Council of Trinidad and Tobago. At a time when leadership spaces were overwhelmingly male, she stood firmly in advocacy for women, children, and the vulnerable. Jeffers was the founder of the Coterie of Social Workers, an organization dedicated to improving social social services and expanding opportunities for women's participation in public life. Through this platform, she championed education, housing, and welfare reform, laying groundwork for social development in Trinidad and Tobago. Her work extended beyond politics. As a trained social worker, she believed leadership meant service, and she used her influence to push for practical solutions to poverty and inequality. Audrey Jaffers did not simply enter history. She changed it. Her courage opened doors for generations of women in public service, proving that leadership begins with compassion, conviction, and the willingness to stand alone when necessary. Audrey Jaffers, a true woman who led.
You've been listening to Women Who Lead, celebrating the women moving our nation forward. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM, your station for conversation, leadership, and community.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Nice. So we have 2 minutes, Trinidad and Tobago. We are back. And I just want to hail out somebody that I now seeing for the first time. It's the first time I've seen the name. And that name is Andy. And the person of my name, Andy Rampasad. Andy Rampasad is saying, Andy, you sounding real dunce this morning. Andy Rampasad, I want to disagree with you. That's just my logic and how I will go about not ending up as statistics of profiling. So here what? Please, Andy Rampasad, go in those depressed communities where profiling is very, very high when it comes to police and the criminal elements that looking to kill you. And look like them, move like them, song like them, act like them. And Andy Rampasad, I who very dunce, would not. I don't want to wear where they wear. I don't want to be where they are. I don't want to line with them. I don't want them to take a drop with me, anything. You do all the opposite that this dunce as you as saying I am, decide that he not going to do because he don't want to end up at statistics of circumstances. Right? You do it and let's see where that will put you. Okay? Let's see. And then we will get to see who is dunce. The dunce person that you are calling dunce will be the one doing the urology for you. I'll make sure I bring Lennox Smith to choke you in your head for being so stupid.
No, Andy. No, you have made a very poignant and delivered a poignant lesson there, and I trust that whosoever that person is and others take note because.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts, making the news at this time. Around 1,500 residents of the La Horquita Talparo constituency are expected to benefit from a new housing development. The project, which is slated to begin soon, was announced by the area's Member of Parliament, Philip Watts, who highlighted the positive impact it will have on the local community. There's a growing need for both housing and employment opportunities in the La Horquita Talparo constituency, and Member of Parliament Philip Watts says plans are already in motion to address those concerns. Speaking with TTT News, he revealed that hundreds of new homes will soon be constructed in the area.
Through the HDC, they would have sent out tenders for housing, and fortunately for me, some of those packages fall into my constituency for design build finance. So we are going to embark on construction of 1,500 new homes, which I will ensure after I develop my youths, they get the job, they will be able to qualify for HDC homes. So we connecting the dots again as to how close I'm working with the youths and the long-term plan and vision for them.
MP Watts added that the housing project will also play a major role in reducing unemployment within the constituency by prioritizing local labor.
This is where now we are going to damp up most of the labor in the construction sector with the tradesmen in the constituency, right? So you will have electricians, plumbers, carpenters, masons being employed in that particular project in the constituency. So shortly we shouldn't have any labor issues in the constituency.
In addition to housing and job creation, the Member of Parliament noted that infrastructure improvements are also being targeted. In other news, the search is ongoing for two Trinidadian sailors who were en route to Union Island. Alvin Morgan and Damien Ruiz departed from Waterloo, Trinidad, and made a stop in Tobago on March 2nd before continuing their journey. Since then, neither the sailors nor their vessel have been seen. Valence Rambrat, who leads the Hunters Search and Rescue Team, told TDT News that efforts to locate the men are ongoing. According to the Hunters Search and Rescue Team, the sailors, both of Santa Flora, Trinidad, were reported missing on March 2nd after they set sail on a newly built pirogue destined for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 10 days later, there has been no sighting of the two men nor the boat bearing the name Campi.
Hunters Search and Rescue Team continues to be in contact with the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, the Tobago fisherfolk and fisherfolk from Grenada. Thus far, nothing has been found with respect to these two sailors who were hired to transport this newly built boat from Waterloo, Trinidad to Union Island in St. Vincent.
Mr. Morgan and Mr. Ruiz reportedly made a stop at Buku Beach in Tobago for refueling en route to Grenada. After leaving Grenada, the men were expected to make their way to Union Island in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
To be in contact with a Tobago fisherman who assisted them with their mechanical difficulties while they were in Buku, Tobago, and eventually they made their way to Paletuvia and turned into the open Atlantic waters to make the trip to Grenada. Despite surveillance, aircraft surveillance by the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard and by our members in Tobago, thus far nothing has been found.
The men and the pirogue were expected to arrive in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on March 2nd. Switching gears now to some sport, action continues in the East-West Corridor Football League this evening, with matches taking place in the North and Northeast zones. At the Northeastern Sporting Complex, third-place Northeast Zone side Dream Team United will face Bonaire FC. Meanwhile, second-place Coolit FC will be aiming to hold on to their position in the round of 16 when they take on Coca All-Stars. And in the final week of North Zone action, the Hazley Crawford Stadium training field will host Sheriff Angels Belmont versus San Juan, Santa Cruz, and North America FC versus United Brotherhood. And that was your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. After a short break, we return to Trinidad and Tobago today.
Every client deserves expertise.
Trinidad, we're turning up the love on Thursday, March 19th, the night before the holiday. Sweet 100.1 FM brings you Reggae Love Live. And we're taking over the lobby in South Trinidad for one unforgettable night. Enjoy big reggae anthems, sweet lovers rock, and so much more. Pure reggae vibes all night long. This is your midweek escape, your reason to step out and feel irie.
Before you pull that trigger, hate to see when youth become friend killer.
Bring your crew, bring your energy, bring your best vibes, because we're lighting up the lounge with music you know and love. Admission is free, so no excuses. Thursday, March 19th at the lobby. This is Reggae Love Live. One love, one launch, 100.
Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before. A brand new era of talk radio is here.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
We are back. Time check. Yes, it's 8 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. And you're listening to us and viewing us on our several social media platforms available to you. You all know them. Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, Corridor Transformation on YouTube, 648 Television on YouTube, The Ground Report on YouTube, at 91.1 FM. Yes, at Talk City 91.1 FM on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitter. Okay, don't forget that. Let me say a pleasant good morning to all my maxi taxi drivers, PH drivers, bus drivers, 7-seaters, panel van. And for those who are getting people at drop, good morning to all my drivers. I'm not forgetting to say a special to Tobago. Good morning to Tobago. Our brothers and sisters in Tobago on the sister isle. Yes, our sister isle. Tobago. Good morning to you, to all my Tobago brothers and sisters. They always make good contributions, you know. All they don't want to pay them again, but Trinidad want it. I don't know what to say, boy. Trinidad, the different. I think they'll go with them again neither. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me say one quick happy birthday. Let me say one quick happy birthday to Kavita. That's AK Postman, RaviPostman.com daughter. Kavita birthday is today.
Happy birthday from here as well. Yes. I know her very well. Yeah.
Nice.
A long time no see, girl.
And that's coming from her grandmother, her grandpa, uncles and aunts, and niece and nephews.
Yeah,
happy birthday to you,
okay.
Kavita. May you live to see many more.
Yes, indeed.
Oh boy. You're on your birthday, father birthday close, boy. Nice. Lennox, anything before I play some voice notes here?
Yes, I was making a point that you have given some serious instructions there for people to contemplate. It's not that you are naive, not that you are illogical. The fact is that is reality. For example, you don't go around these areas and expose your gold chain and your gold watch.
Let Andy go.
You know what I mean? yes.
You buy it at your chain, partner.
I want to tell everybody, and of course, Snipes and you could testify to that. That is the fundamental reason why I don't wear anything goldish. I don't buy it because I may have to wear it, and if I don't, simply because I don't want to be attracted to. You see what I mean? And I'm making the point of what you are saying, that you have to adapt and adjust and understand the environment in which you live and exist, and therefore you have to be circumspect. That's all. I remember, and I could give you numerous experiences of my own. The one I would want to bring to the fore, because I saw the police officer some time ago and he was boasting that he made an arrest. But I saw a situation where two police officers, one senior, one junior, went into the makeshift business of a young man, and I thought I should make an intervention, so I stood my distance so they can't say that I interfered with their job. And then as he looked at me, the senior one, I said, you're looking drunk. But of course, I did it. My lips would have said so, and I said it over and over. And then, of course, he instructed the younger one to, of course, hold me, and they carted me down to Besson Street Police Station. And whilst there, I think there's several persons, including Stephen Young and others, and some other fellows who know me, they say, Dice Smith, you know. Well, one time everybody got into a frenzy and they made arrangements to get me out on my own bail and charge me and so on for something about disturbing the peace, when in fact I was talking directly to the police officer. Anyhow, the matter come and dismiss. But the point I'm making is that you could, because you are living there, because you are associated there, by itself makes you vulnerable to what I consider to be delinquent, and I'm being generous here because, I mean, you could be subjected to misprofiling as a consequence just because of your location. In other words, if I had stood up, let's say in Westmoreland, and said the same thing, none of them would have paid attention to me. But because of where, because the belief is that they will, anybody there don't have the capacity to pursue, whether it be false imprisonment, whether it be false arrest, etc. In other words, take legal action against them after the fact, because they believe that somehow they can do that because the people in these communities are either impoverished or do not have the time to pursue their legal rights, and so they can ride roughshod, the police that is, and law enforcement can ride roughshod in these communities. It's a very ticklish situation.
So facts.
So therefore, try to avoid as much as you can out of an abundance of caution. So you don't provide additional opportunity for profiling, so that you minimize the attractiveness that you will have for police officers and law enforcement. That's all I'm saying.
Well, all right, but the only person I will like, don't take your advice, don't take my advice. I want Andy. Yes, I want, let me make sure I get your name. Hey, Mark Thomas, a pleasant good morning to you. I see like this look like a new name. So welcome to the Ground Report, Mark Thomas. Oh boy, let me get the name there. The person I want. Forget about what Lennox saying and why he's saying. We chop it. I want you put on your gold chain and walk in certain areas. Nah, remember your bite, Teddy, you too. All of it, Lennox say you smarter than you playing devil advocate. But all right, put on a gold chain and walk in certain areas. Jump in certain people's car in various areas now, man. Wear the clothes them wearing now. Let the police feel you're part of the gang by associating or linemen or standing up with them too long now. No, don't worry about me. Remember I chopper? The chopper won't go tell the story after. I might be the one that go and get the justice of the peace and the bailer, or to get the funeral home, or the one where they speak up, the next one where they speak up and they kill you. They be dressed down in white. I think they have a name for them. They call them the body loader. Or, no, the underground man or something. Underground, the under earth or under. They have a name for them, boy. Who they store all them bodies that get murdered. All who dead. They come with a van. It's Undertaker.
Undertakers,
yes.
The funeral homes, yes.
Yeah, let the Undertaker them.
You know, and there's so many experiences that one can give, and I am one of the most fortunate persons to be committed to that cause, so that I could say without fear of contradiction anything. I remember another occasion. I went to help somebody get a load of gravel to assist with their home. So that is the back of Juman's there near Caledonia. And bam, I coming out with the vehicle. A fella come out with a gun and hold us up and ask us, well, where the money? Is that right? Yeah. So my friend with the money was on the passenger side. So I tell him, listen, I see he had the gun and he feeling my pants and so on to see whether or not I have money in it. And then another one came on the other side. I said, nah, the other guy there has it. And
so the man, you tell them one time that the man had the money there.
Yeah. Because you have to appear to be in such a situation. You have to be wise.
So you talk nice. So you say someone that touch your pants, you tell the next one.
But listen,
Look,
the money is across there. Yeah. My friend has it. Yeah. And what? But it didn't finish there. So they took my cell phone, and then say, well, go ahead. So why is I going? I say, well, listen, leave the phone there because I assume that they would think I would call the police and so on. So leave the phone there. The fella turned around and his leg was shot in the sky. Bow! And of course, I knew what that meant, meaning to skid out of there, so I did. But of course, I went further inside Caledonia. That time, Sean Francis and they were alive, and I tell them, listen, I just got robbed by this guy. So all of them, when I just gave the description, they recognized who it was. So they say, Mr. Smith, you stay right here. And they fly down the road. They went in a different car, fly down the road, bam, and I got back my cell phone. I think I got back part of the money as well. And the point I'm saying this to say that it depends on who you are, because if it was a stranger who was not known, it means therefore you would have had to take your losses and get out of there. That's the point I am making. And I took note of the fact that the trade school that the PNM caused us to close up in Juma's Drive itself was just a stone's throw away from that activity that would have caused me to be in there to assist another resident with a load of gravel. And here it is, of course, I got robbed. So one time I said, well, listen, if that could happen to me, and it's only because they know who I am, I got back my belongings. And that motivated me to continue to opening up school opportunities and training opportunities, including, of course, the resource center on George Street. I want the other lesson there, the other moral of the story there is this, that based on your experience, you then find causes to pursue. And I only got away because of who I am. And I can give you numerous instances of because who Lennox Smith is. The police will, of course, take a different approach. But if it's not Lennox Smith and it's somebody else who, in the normal run of the mill scenario, they take you for 6. As I explained, I think yesterday or this morning, about the young man who was picked up under the SOE and just released last night, who I had to, facilitate in picking up and dropping him home.
Oh, yeah. So to make a long story short, I understand that I had to learn the hard way while I was working at a gas station on what time it is, and I told you all about that. I working at a gas station. They come to rob the gas station in Diego Martin. Right? When they come to rob the gas station, the 2 men walk in. I was in the office. They inside with the woman named Ruth. She was the 4th person that had the pile now. But I didn't say nothing, and then they only asking me. Because they wasn't looking at the woman that had the money. And they pay in the mouth. They making sure they pay your mouth in case you're dumb. They get sign language. And they pay in the mouth good and saying, with the money. So you had to read the lips now. And I just trying to say, well, I don't pow slap. And they ask me again, with the money, and making sure to put your lips, the lips where you have to understand where they're coming from now. And
intimidating. They have the facial expression is one that if you are not careful, that alone could kill you.
Yeah, boy.
But go ahead.
And they said, with the money. I said, but pow slap again the pit bull get. Well, that time me not the pit bull. But I started study. Well, why I only getting slap? They ask again, with the money. The money, I know go and say, well, look, the money right there. Pow slap. I trying to say where the money is, who had the money. And I guess 7 slap. trying to tell the people, the criminal, the bandit, look, the woman, they had the money. It's when I realized they want me to talk it, just point. So I catch myself before I can get the 8 slap. What the money? I just do so with my finger and point. And me ain't get no slap, and then I see they started beachy. Oh God. Well, when they started beachy, both of them, cause I don't know if they find like, she stand up there and watch me getting all that slap. She know she had the money, she could have just pull it out of her pocket. Well, when they started beachy there, so I take off. Me never look back. I studied if they go shoot me in my back while they're running. While I run, if they go shoot me in my back and all kind of thing. I didn't study that. I run from that gas station straight home. And all I know is he need bag on is, oh God! Pop, pop, oh God! Oh God! And the woman bawling, I get out it, I just punch she. And when licks start to share, because I say, well, boy, if the beating she so when they're done, they don't come back to me. Well, I take the chance, I take off. You understand? Say, it's hard to know.
You're trying to go the boss. It depends on it depends on your interpretation of the extent of the danger, one, and the desperation of the perpetrators or the assailants. All of those are you are calculating in your mind at the same time. You know,
what?
But with me, I'm a very resistant person. So when they would have done that, all I think in one time, because they hold the young man in my case as well. So all I think in one time, well, how much money I go make by suing them and so on and so on. Because eventually when they get to know who I am, I think all hell break loose. And so said, so that. But the young man, he was with me. I spread some paper, I get some bags of paper, and I lie down, I go and lie down and so on. But he, every minute, how I get here? What do you think? I said, lie down now, boy, cool it down. I thinking one time, well, how many lawsuit will progress in my mind and so on and so on and so on. It's Stephen Young, you the JP, who prevent that fella from getting, and there's another incident too, because the same man who charged me, he ended up getting charged, the police officer that was charged in Cedros for carrying marijuana in one of the police vehicles, and he got suspended. And I felt sorry for him. I said, nah, I wouldn't compound his problem, because I ended up knowing that he resides, and he should know himself now, resides at on Oxford Street in that built up planning there for organized by HDC. Yeah, I saw him the other day, and you know, the boasting in kind of way, as if I get away. But me and I say, but you lucky, you lucky. I feel sorry for you, and I just walk down the road.
Nice. Yes. So Trina, let me take this call.
Yeah. Because I mean, he from the area. He was a young man.
No, you have to take them to task.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
I would have done it only if it was a lesson, but I don't think. I think he learned his lesson when he got charged and suspended from the police service. I think he still is. Go ahead, Andy.
Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, brother Andy and brother Lennox and Mr. Strike.
Yes, morning.
Well, I was listening to your earlier topic, concerning about disciplining your children, at home. And I have a story when I was 10 years old, and how important it is for parents to discipline the children. And every Saturday, our meals, we would work for family, but every Saturday evening, we had the opportunity of getting fresh hops bread and black pudding and sauce. And I was the one to go to buy the bread, the black pudding and the sauce. It was sold right on the main road there. And a quart of bread was, it was 25 cents. It used to be a shilling, which is 24 cents. And it used to be 15 to a quart. And the 24 cents pudding from a woman named Spoon, she used to sell on the shop, and 50 cents sauce. And I had a little 6 cents paper bag with the bread, and walking back home, it was getting dusk black, and the bad guys, and I knew them, even though I was about 10 or 11 years old, and they were playing wacky under the street light. And I decided to stand up there just for about 2 minutes looking at them, to see what's happening. I always hear about, I used to see them all the time, and that evening I decided to stand and look at them. And within 1 minute, what they used to call the police van, they call it a Black Maria, pulled up. And they arrested everybody, probably about 15 or 20 guys, including myself as a little 10-year or 11-year-old. Threw us in the back of that van. Me with the bread, the pudding, and the sauce. Took us to the police station in Tunapuno, and Randy Burrows was the sergeant at the time, I believe. And they threw us in the cell. I with a bag, and so the guys asking, what you got in that bag? I said, that's bread and pudding for my family, So, probably what happened over, those guys started to eat all the bread and pudding and the sauce in the cell. Yeah, true story, Andy, true story.
Boy, when you reach back home, you might get caught here for stopping for that minute, boy. Boy.
Listen, I'm just showing you how discipline at home is not as my mother was a drill sergeant. My dad didn't beat, but my mother would beat 24/7. She was a drill sergeant. Someone got a message that Lenny is in the cell in Tunapuno police station. He and my dad came down, but my dad knew both, so they let me out. Well, I started to get licked. We had a Zephyr car. My mother started to beat me in that car from there until we reached home. And Andy, I got beaten for that incident. I got beaten for hanging out, watching cards, and then for eating all her bread, pudding, and the sauce for at least 2 months, Andy. I got a whipping every evening to remind me, never should I ever attempt to do that again. So, when you're talking about discipline, even though I turn out to love cards after, I think, I love playing wappy and poker. But to discipline your children, whether they take it or not, is very important. So every time I hear, something about that, it reminded me, those guys ate everything. The only thing they didn't eat was the paper bag. So I just thought I'd make that contribution to you all. All right, you all have a blessed day, brother.
Boy, Snipesy boy, the man just stopped.
And what reminds me as well, Andy, that all of those who I would have encountered and engaged either in crime or have the potential or focusing on or glamorizing crime, they always believe that they will never get catch. They always believe that. And I said, well, what kind of phenomenon is this? And when they do get catch, they're trying to spread the responsibility of them extricating themselves from that attention now placed on them by the police. They're trying to spread it all over the place. His family, his neighborhood, his friend, and so on, begging this, begging that one, and so on. Help me out now, this and that, and so on, even though from something that could have been prevented.
We
have to go for the break.
Don't ever stop for wappy. Don't think by email guy there, and then they eat food too. Boy,
yeah. It happens. It's serendipity. Some say is divine intervention. Whatever it is, the fact is that these things happen.
Right.
But it's the community that you are in that will, in itself, be profiled.
Right. But
let's go for the break.
We're going further now. But remember, as I say, you see the same thing I say. He just all the time he passing, he go anywhere, however. But he decide that day to stop. Right. And I think when a man say I stupid, when I say him breads, if I know a partner, I went to school with him wherever, and he asked me for a drop, I wouldn't say no. I would tell him come in the car and shut down the car. And say, but we're going on with this car here. This car shut down. I play and I call him mechanical kind of thing, open the bonnet and I walking back home. Because I'm not getting a drop. You understand? Because I don't want to end up that
And hopefully that he has nothing to answer for. And at the same time, because there will be triple and double circumstance. Because hoping that no police in passing either that know him.
Exactly. So, boy.
even though you did that as a gesture to show him a look, you're still cordial and all of that. But let's go for the break. And when we come back, more, it's very interesting indeed.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
This March 8th, in celebration of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly presents Women Who Lead. Imagine a world free of bias and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where women's achievements are celebrated and their voices amplified. For over a century, International Women's Day has championed gender equality, and the journey continues. Join us as we highlight powerful, inspiring women who are breaking barriers and shaping our future. Women Who Lead, launching March 8th on Talk City 91.1 FM. Together, we can forge gender equality.
Is your business experiencing the following symptoms? Not enough customers, no sales, slow cash flow. It's time for your business to be seen and heard by thousands of potential customers inside this new, exciting television and social media feature.
Welcome.
The 1020 with Junior K. Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just for you. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
From the road to the radio. Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
Bang, 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 bang.
We must make government work for the people rather than have the people work to keep a government in place.
And that's so truth, and we always remember, despite of what, that we are the government. You are the government. It is what it is. Hey, let me say a pleasant good morning to Ban. You know how long I see Ban? Ban, where was? I say you in Iraq, Iran, they fighting war. Or I say you end up in Venezuela and you was guarding Maduro there. And you was one of them Cuban soldiers that gone. Hey, Ban Tower, long time I see you. Let me say a pleasant welcome to Darrell C. Prasad. Good morning to you. I stopped listening to Pierre. I was saying here, this is our first time I've seen him. I stopped listening to the PNM people talk a long time ago. They just give me headaches. Okay then. Michael George, I ain't see you a long time. Lucky Lal, well you always say. LP, where are they? Patricia Reed, there's our old trap. Just school, well, you lock on. Just running through. Hey, Sandy Jones, what going on with you, girl? Like you to sleep late every day now, or what? Selena Maharaj, good morning to you. David, how are you going? Abby, Nick, Jason Frank, a pleasant good morning to you. Rosemary, Ambalale, good morning to you, Rosemary Donna. All Donnas, Abigail, good morning. Nice. Gaza Trini, man. I ain't see a little while. And those are people that I am hailing out there, Trinidad and Tobago, for those of you in your maxis, in your taxis, in your PH vehicles. Those are the online bloggers that we have in their hundreds that use our various social media platforms, several of them. So when they leave the maxi or the home, whether they work or wherever, if they can't stand up in front of the radio or watch us on the TV, they can move with us over the phone now. So you all can get us on the phone, it's simple. On Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube. Corridor Transformation on YouTube. 648 Television on YouTube. You can also get us on The Ground Report, simple. The Ground Report on YouTube. You can also get us at Talk City 91.1 FM on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitter. Yeah, it's simple. Talk City 919. And you're on one of them platforms here and you can get us, okay? Yes. So good morning to each and all you Ja Defender. That's the first time I'm seeing you. Ja Defender.
But let me just remind the business community, potential, real and budding, that of course you advertise right here, because all of that is at your disposal. So therefore the reach is vast, the reach is massive. And therefore, your product or your service will certainly reach the audience or the target population that you like, whether you are niche or whether you are generic. But the fact is that members of the team will be, of course, reaching out to you. And, of course, you can call us as well, the same numbers that you have at your disposal to promote your product and to, in a real sense, we reciprocate or we live symbiotically, meaning that you get what you want, we get what we want, and everybody is happy.
But you know what I love about that, what you're saying, Lennox? What I love about what you're saying, to my business people out there, what I want to do when they call is I want to give it a special touch, boy. A special ground report touch. No far that going and reach. So there is no other program, so don't even bother. When they want to advertise, make sure if they want that reach, it must start with the ground report. So get on. Whoever call, hey, we want to advertise on the ground report. Yeah. Call me.
Next week we'll be having, of course, a blitz relating to that because we need you. And clearly, you would need us to make sure that your product gets to where it wants so that you can make the handsome profits that you anticipate your business potentially and real can make. There are two other items that we didn't touch that I thought we should briefly. That one with respect to the gentleman, the maxi taxi driver that ran down two or three licensing officers with a
man jumping up to cuff them down and thing, but I say, what, boy?
He was sent for psychological evaluation. So we know where that was going.
You feel mad? But the man, he said, play the fool. All right.
But he was also charged. He was charged as well for assault. I think is a simple
he net nobody.
Matter,
but he net nobody. He just jump around. He jump around like a boxer. Come. Let me cuff you. I said, what boy?
Remember, you can't have officials being so intimidated and not to take the heavy hand of the law to come down on such individuals.
Yeah, but he touched nobody.
Been sent for psychological evaluation. And he was charged, I think, for simple assault.
He didn't touch nobody. All he was doing is grand charging. But he was making good grand charging. I know started to get frightened. I say, oh, God, boy. This man look like he go bust up windscreen. He go look like he go cuff them down.
But assault also means that if the person believes that you have the capacity to do it, because it is about the mental part, you call mens rea as opposed to actus rea. So the actus rea is the action. But the mens rea, if you believe that he was really going to do what he says he would do, or the action suggests that put your mind in a particular frame, then the act would have been committed, and so he
but boy, nowhere in the law books mention that a police officer or a license officer can take away a owner of a vehicle keys. You can't do that.
But that's a different. No, but that is a different issue, as opposed to the substantive one that caused
that is what making get
that went viral. Yeah, because nobody saw when they take away the keys, but they saw that one, and the police to defend another institution that is part of the law enforcement mechanism of the country had to act, otherwise they would look soft. It's about power.
But what I see now?
I think that is what that is all about.
What I see now? What I see? I do so. I go into the social media. I see this thing. I see the fella. Come. I say, what boy? Then I see him kick away something on the ground. What? I say, but what is this going on here, boy? Then I see him walk by the max. All right. Oh, then give me the key. You ain't give me the key. You ain't give me the key? All right. He run down by the maxi. Open. I see some kind of, I don't know if it's a wrench or a wheel spanner. When he think I see them.
Yeah, this is a wheel spanner, yeah.
I see them like somewhere. They're running the car. They run back in the van, boy. Bam! He open the door. He said, the fat one, like the fat license officer, like that the one most intimidated. That one only running. Boy, when they can't take it no more, he gone back. He said, all right, this time is trouble. Boy, the corners,
the van. They made a hasty exit. The other one, of course, the other one is that 11-year-old who was supposed to be, was a student of Karini Hindu Primary School. You understand, there are two conflicting stories. She has died as a result of some injury. They say on the one hand, they say it was a result of bullying. Some child had pushed her against some sink and it created some kind of injury to her, so she had some pain and so on. And she visited several medical institutions, and eventually she died, I think, at Mount Hope Children's Hospital. But the other one is something that the authorities, both within and outside of the school, were pursuing. We are still to know which one of the different strands, because but two of them, palpably different. The other one is that she was sexually molested.
Oh my gosh.
And maybe that would have created some problems for the child. So we are waiting on the formal forensic investigations and the results of the autopsy, etc., in order to determine which one of these strains. So we are not casting any aspersions. We are just, of course, placing the information in the public domain. And at any rate, is a very harrowing situation to have the life of such a young child lost in the circumstances that we have now described. Go ahead.
Wow. And Monica Ramke soon is also saying you cannot take the keys and you cannot drag out a person from behind the wheel. So it's against the law. And what it is to that is they take the man key. I think as license officers, you cannot take his license. But you can't take a man key. Because you hear any man and all saying that only my vehicle exposed here. Give me my key, let me lock up my thing, let me move my vehicle, because the vehicle idling.
They just push your hand, I assume, and just pull it out, pull out the key.
Go on with the man keys.
Yeah, they've taken this thing a bit. I suppose that might be mitigating or extenuating when the matter comes up before the courts. It's unfortunate that we have to go that distance to cover up, because that is what normally happens. A person who the officer may feel they have a duty to arrest because he might have said something that appeared to undermine his ego, and therefore
the man said to that don't harass
the usual suspect is things like obstruction, obscene language, misbehavior, inciting, all of that they will use in order to make certain that they get to that individual, which in fact I think is stupid.
It's stupid,
if it is a person who has an opinion about you, but it doesn't infringe any law, why would you want to manufacture something to make it more difficult for him in his life to have to go to court and maybe have to explain, and eventually it is dismissed. But because it's your job to do that, you do it without considering his
that's
job
how it is.
and what inconvenience you might have caused.
That's what it is. And the man also mentioned too, 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, they only harassing him, 2-3 weeks now. So that is the whole, you see all that whole ticketing system, that whole bacchanal thing there, and officers and licensed officers who really and truly abusing their power, tripping off people, and somebody go trip off on them.
Those of us who are in the know, like when at the Joint Select Committee, when the license of office was under scrutiny, we saw where even these roadblocks and the frisking and so on, they couldn't find the basis for it. Because if you're looking for 3 or 4 persons who may be delinquent, you will shut down the whole country.
Hey, anyhow, go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller.
I mean, come on.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, my granny. Go ahead, my granny. You're a fighter, you know.
Yeah, I want to tell all you something this morning. I am a UNC. This is my government, but I want to say something. This house invasion is real plenty. They have to do something about that. If you could spend so much money for carnival, and you could have a good and clean carnival, and all them set you say having it clean, you could spend some money to do something to help this house invasion. This last week gone, they gone in a supermarket, a little peddling thing in Romans. People trying to live. They go and beat an old lady in she house and tie she up and take everything. In St. Helena, they beat the people and carry everything from the house. Look at only 2 weeks. Day before yesterday, there was in Piaco. These people leave the house to come and sell some roti and some early to make a living. They lock them in the place and they take what they have, cook food and money, and they go on with it. And Cuba, they go on and take the people parrot, they take the things, they take the people tawa, where they cooking roti on and they stove in 2 weeks. Look at that. They gone in a man's house to take his car. He's in the hospital badly off. They beat him. I don't know if he had bus or what.
That real home invasion going there. When all of that going there right. Recently, yeah?
In 2 weeks, they come by the Doubles boy. They come by the Doubles boy in Esperanza. When he was young, they come up there to sell some things. They take the man's vehicle and they're gone. In 2 weeks, my government is doing nothing to help the house invasion, and it is only in UNC area house invasion, people. People is crying, the heart is bleeding. But out the army with the police and fix some vehicles, so much money are you spend for carnival. I don't mind money spent for carnival. Take up 50,000 or 60,000, fix the vehicles. Put a direct number like how Griffith had it. Griffith had a direct number to the office.
All right, but let me ask something. And in profiling now, with all those home invasions that took place over a 2-week period, wait, Granny. In profiling, because I want to profile, I want to find out. The perpetrators, are they of East Indian descent or of African descent?
When they dress, Afghanistan people in one of the places.
Oh, they don't like Muslim.
And they have on the place. You can't make them out who they is, but it's only Indian and Hindu home, which I can call out. For you, if you come in Piaco, you go in St. Helena, you go in all into UNC area. But besides that,
yeah, but with all that home invasion, everybody dressed up like Muslim, where you can't see what type of person. If it's East Indian or African?
You can have the East Indian or African, but 4 going, 6 going. Of course, they coward. And they coward, they have to go by the 4 and 6. They're not going the gun they depend on. But the government have to have patrol on the road.
All right. Lennox Smith, you being having a degree in criminology. Again, remember we don't know how it go, but in your normal common sense, what race you believe is doing those home invasions? Is it in majority?
I mean, let's face it, it's the African community that is so engaged, and I've said that before we came here and elsewhere, that I would not be surprised if the perpetrators coming from these East-West corridor communities, East Port of Spain, Laventille, and so on. I would not be surprised, and of course my prediction or my assertion did materialize when they eventually caught up with the vehicle that escaped in an Aranguez home invasion some time ago, and they found the vehicle somewhere on St. Joseph Road in East Port of Spain, Laventille, and of course the perpetrators themselves were from, of course, on the hill in Laventille. So and I have made it very, very, very clear. In fact, I have been moved to such a degree that when the home invasion law was being proposed, and of course it is now law, but when it was being proposed and the consultations were taking place, I had written to, and I still have intention of reminding them, to both former Attorney Generals, Anand Ramlogan and that of Mr. Mirage, to come into East Port of Spain at our resource center and lecture to the community there, because the perpetrators more likely will come from communities like these, and it's important, of course, to let them understand what is in store for them if they should continue that trajectory, that threat to human life, property, and of course that kind of invasion.
Let me take this caller, but in everything between me and you, when it comes to those things, the shooting, the kidnappings, the home invasions and all them kind of things, that is African people in the majority. It have Indian doing it, but in majority is African people. When it comes to drinking Gramazone,
and from a particular area as well.
When it comes to
geographic area.
Yes, and when it comes to drinking Gramazone or Lanate and them kind of thing, falling in love and man suicide, murder, murder, suicide, and them kind of
and fight for property.
And fight for property, that the Indian and them. In its majority. African doing the
we have to go for a break before we go to the news. So
let me go for that break. Caller,
I have to go to the break.
Malcolm X.
Go ahead.
Hold on. We going to the break? Or take the call?
I take the call. Take the call. Malcolm X, you got a reprieve. Take the call.
Morning. Andy, I could call you back, no?
You could call back?
Because I go call back. The news is priority.
All right, go for the break because we can still get 2 minutes to think before we get the news. Go ahead, Snipey.
But Johnny, how come your house is twice the size of mine, but my bill is twice the cost of yours? Johnny, what's going on, boy? How your bill so low? How your bill so low? I'm conserving energy. I switch your LED at the stun of the AC, and I'm saving real money. It's our responsibility for a brighter TNT. Cut the waste and you would see. Why everybody asking me? They asking how you been so low? How you been so low? TN Tech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Your news anytime, anywhere. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
She leads, she inspires, she makes history. This is Women Who Lead, a special International Women's Day feature on Talk City 91.1 FM.
I don't want to stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine.
Today on Women Who Lead, we spotlight Karen and Kathy Norman. In the world of Trinidad and Tobago Carnival, creativity is power, and Karen and Kathy Norman have mastered it. These dynamic sisters are celebrated mass band creators whose work has helped shape the modern carnival landscape. Through bold design, intricate detailing, and a deep understanding of storytelling through costume, they have brought imagination to life on the streets of Port of Spain. As women leading in a competitive and demanding industry, the Norman sisters have built a reputation for innovation, organization, and artistic excellence. From concept to execution, they have demonstrated that mass is not just costume, it is culture, identity, and expression. Their leadership extends beyond aesthetics. They have created opportunities for designers, artisans, and masqueraders, contributing to the economic and cultural engine that drives Carnival. Karen and Kathy Norman represent the fusion of artistry and entrepreneurship, proving that women continue to lead at the very heart of Trinidad and Tobago's greatest festival. Visionaries in feathers, gems in design, true women who lead.
You've been listening to Women Who Lead, celebrating the women moving our nation forward. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM, your station for conversation, leadership, and community.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
Hard-hitting, unfiltered, no scripts, no spin. This is Off the Record. Off the Record. With Stefan and Mr. X, where critical thinking meets real talk in real time. The conversations others avoid, we take them head on. Interactive, informative, entertaining, AI-assisted, and driven by your voice. Politics, society, culture, and the issues shaping now. No rehearsals, no apologies, just facts, fire, and fearless discussion. Off the Record. Weekdays 9 a.m. to 12 noon on Talk City 91.1 FM. Off the Record. Wake up to the issues that matter most on the Ground Report. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. for real talk, real analysis, and real perspectives on the stories shaping our nation. News, current affairs, and voices from the ground, unfiltered and unapologetic. That's the Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, so you know we're leading up to the news, so we wouldn't play no voice notes or anything or take any calls, but I'll just read one or two things there. Somebody just could say, where are the billions? Gloria Calawan, Gloria is saying, Andy, they raped the woman and threatened her to drop the case, otherwise they will kill her son or daughter. That's how bad it's getting in our country. That's same way in Cuba. So Lennox Smith, all of that play off. They rape the woman and thing and threaten she to kill she family every day she and drop the case.
Yes, that is the phenomenon. That is the modus operandi. I remember my own colleague that got killed in the first of this year.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Protecting children from abuse is critical for preventing severe long-term physical, mental, and emotional damage that can last into adulthood. It is essential for safeguarding our children's fundamental rights to safety. Civil rights activist Marcus Kissoon says the public must place trust in the authorities and the justice system to properly investigate matters and ensure justice is served.
I do think that the time that the institutions take allow for other children and for other institutions to feel as though that they have a kind of system that is actually invested in them. So, yeah.
Reference is made to the recent death of an 11-year-old girl in which sexual interference is suspected. Child rights activist Marcus Ramkisoon says adults must remain alert and create safe spaces for children, giving them the opportunity to speak openly and share what they may be experiencing.
Now, all of these things only become useful and viable if we as parents develop an open line of communication with our children. So I could give you a long list of the things to look for, but they become useless because the thing about abuse and bullying is that it's very secretive. It's designed in a way to keep children from disclosing, right? We are reluctant to have children disclose their issue because of the nature of how these issues exist.
He says looking for signs of abuse must go hand in hand with breaking the silence surrounding the issue, encouraging open conversations so children feel safe to speak out.
You know, we still live in a culture where some parents still don't ask their children, how was their day? You know, allowing children to feel as though that they have that kind of safety space to come to the adults in their lives who care about them, to unpack, to offload, to share the discomfort. Because again, any form of abuse, any kind of bullying is designed to keep the child living in silence.
Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander criticized those in society who encourage or support criminal behavior instead of recognizing and supporting young people who are succeeding through positive and conventional paths.
I dealt with vulnerable youth, young people, people from the ghetto, they call it, people who would have done well. Excellent. In a society where he is condemned, he or she is condemned, 8 subjects, all ones. Put it up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. 1 like.
He was speaking at the ministry's seminar on vulnerable youth, a multi-sectoral integrated approach on Thursday. Minister Alexander said social media glorifies criminality.
A friend of a friend shot a 2-person's video on display. 17,000 likes. What did we do or did not do? So instead of embracing a youth coming from a so-called depressed environment, we prefer to support those who are shooting at each other and killing us.
In some sport now, Game 1 of the Big Four playoffs in the National Basketball Club Championship First Division is set to begin this evening with a doubleheader at the Southern Regional Indoor Sport Arena in Pleasantville. In the 7 p.m. match, we'll see the third-place seeded team, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, take on second-place Elite. In the second match, carded for an 8:30 p.m. tip-off time, we'll see first-seeded Leeds Maloney Pacers take on fourth-place Straker Nets. Both matches will be conducted in a best-of-3 series format, with the winners advancing to the finals. And that was your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From the entire team here, have a great day.
Hard questions, honest answers, real conversations from the ground up. If you want to know what's really happening, don't miss the Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1.
The Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation has announced that as of March 2nd, 2026, a mandatory fixed penalty warning system is now in effect for 18 traffic violations listed under the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Act. Under the new measure, motorists found committing specified offenses will receive a fixed penalty warning instead of an immediate fixed penalty notice. The warning allows drivers 3 or 7 business days, excluding weekends and public holidays, to correct the defect. Motorists must then present the vehicle at a police station or licensing authority office for verification. Once the issue is confirmed as rectified, a certificate of compliance will be issued and no fine will be imposed. However, failure to act within the allotted period will result in the warning being converted to a fixed penalty notice requiring payment of the prescribed fine. The Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation is urging all motorists to familiarize themselves with the new system and adhere strictly to traffic laws.
This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before. A brand new era of talk radio is here.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
Bang, 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 bang.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back, we are back, we are back. Time check. It's 7 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. You're also viewing us and listening to us on our several social media platforms. Among hundreds of people right now. Go ahead, Malcolm. You did give us the go ahead. Go ahead, Malcolm. Good morning to you. Malcolm X, what's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
My contribution this morning to Trinidad and Tobago is a pleasant morning. God bless our nation. Special morning to Mighty K, Lennox Smith, and the Sniper Man. Andy, I want to praise you. And I'm sorry I didn't get you yesterday to give you a medal of where these gay people and them, how you talk to Mr. Barako. Andy, you move as a professional. You didn't move one-sided. Because when you're correcting with who is them people, I want Lennox to listen good to why it's my contribution this morning on Trinidad and Tobago. Them people who is the African people. Let me tell you, I grew up in El Sicoro Sour. I went to El Sicoro Islamic School. It only had about 5 African family was going to that school. And when on a Friday, 1 o'clock, everybody used to go to mosque, and I used to want to know to go to mosque too. But I thought it was an Indian thing. But when I realized it wasn't, it was a religious thing. But anyhow, let me face reality. The 1% have their own private school. I'm not racial because I cannot be racial. The Hindu have school. The Presbyterian have school. The Catholic have school. Right? What school we African have? Well, Baba Book try a Baptist school. What school we had? We denied from the name.
No, well, the African school is the government school.
Ah, nice. Nice. Well, we have now a discussion. The African schools are the government schools where you call the junior secondary school. Now, who is the majority of the race that go into the junior sec school? As you ask my asking you back a question. Who is the majority going to the junior sec school?
Well, the government schools in the majority is African people.
Nice. Right. You take a fella, I don't want to stigmatize no particular area like how everybody Lavanti. But you take a man from Belmont child, Woodbrook child, and you mix him up with Beaton, Lavantil, let me say Maloney, Oropun children. One who come to that school, father is a pusher. One who come, the mother is a drug pusher. And next one, the father is a gangster. They born and they grow up around that culture. You don't think they'll bring that culture into the school, Andy?
Yes, they will, because that's why I always tell people that my kids,
right.
I advise people and I tell them play and I say, oi, I right. Make it clear. Here I tell my family and tell people that I care about. I say, oi, Don't send your children to the government school. Don't send them among the African. Send them with the Indian schools. Let them go to the Hindu schools, the Muslim Indian schools. Keep them with among the Indian. Don't send them to the African school at all.
Yeah, but
my children
Andy,
go to African school at all.
Andy,
that meaning we have majority Africans. All right. So
my daughter went to Bataria Junior Senior Comprehensive, and I had to take her out of that school when I drop in her and see the kind of culture in that school. And I take her out. And my little hustle working hard at the AGC, I had to pay a private school in St. Augustine. How much parents could have done that? We had to face reality. And according to the saying, Black Stalin have a tune, hungry, where they say hungry belly, angry man and no mercy, or something. Somebody that correct me the name of the tune, and every time I try to remember the tune, it is lost in my mind. But poverty, they say it's hell and all these things. Let me face what's really going on. Everybody in the Indian school where I went to, family had business. They used to have all the emphasis with a bong bag. They used to bring bong bags to the teacher. The teacher used to show more interest in them, and like we was anything is anything. That is why I come out educating myself. And I want to tell all you another thing too. Jail was nice. And the majority of people in the jail in the 60s was Indian people. Now it's reversed. Because if Lennox look around, Alavanti, Belmont, Caranage, La Brea, and everywhere you turn and you see the little blocks, watch who are the majority on the blocks. Watch who selling double. Watch who when they leave school, they could get a work in a hardware, in a tile place and a what. We have a disadvantage.
Right, but watch, because remember we had to make sure we ended properly because truth hurts is saying, what kind of race talk here this morning? So the moral to your story there is what Mr. Malcolm X, so people will catch on what is the moral to your story or the, or the
well, my moral story, we African people have to get conscious, finding ourselves, gaining back respect for ourselves, and no jailing nice, and stop killing one another because Alexander now talk on the news. He know plenty. Right? He's supposed to know the police who with gun and who with cocaine. It's not the little black boy we're running in people's house. And I will tell you something, nobody ain't coming in my house. I telling you that nobody ain't coming, and in my area, nobody ain't having no gun, who ain't no police and no soldier. And that is the respect police and soldiers had in the past. So everything break down to everybody in the community. That's why they say, long time the neighbors used to grow up the child. Everybody lost respect for one another. So my main thing, if people don't know themselves, and everybody on greed, and they're watching who making money, as they rightfully say, everybody watching the white-collar crime with Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and everybody want that. So they're going and storm people home to get money. They're doing anything. You see the raping thing? I find we supposed to pass the laws, and according to Mr. Amal, the death penalty supposed to come for these unsenseless killings. That is my contribution this morning.
Thank you very much. So that's the moral to the story. Oh boy, which is African people is a problem to their own selves, and we have to organize and think smart and get yourselves or get ourselves as African Trinbagonians out of that. Right? Somebody write up there that 99% and I don't agree at all. The bandits are 99.9% Africans. Banwari, that's not truth. That's not truth. When it comes to the heinous crimes, such as the shooting, the killings, and various things, right? When it comes to bandit is defined under what? A bandit, thieving, right? Thieving is you have to put in the white-collared crime. And when it comes to the white-collared crime, 99.9% of the white-collared crime is East Indian people. It is what it is.
Right.
Lennox Smith, am I right? Because I don't want to put out, whoever's not 99.9, but better say 80, 85%. Lennox, money mic there. Because I want to make sure the ground report always categorically correct. Yeah.
The statistics doesn't bear out that because of the nature of white collar crime, which is very difficult to detect. And whenever it is detected, usually the people get away because they can afford expensive and complicated lawyers, apart from the complication of the case itself.
Right.
And the police usually don't have much interest in those either because of the complexity
because
of it.
They're done.
So,
they're done.
Yeah.
Right, but majority of the time when those kind of type of cases come up, white collar crime where they catch somebody, but them people so good they have money and this and that.
Tax fraud.
Right. What race of Trinbagonians? What race of Trinbagonians in the majority?
Basically the Indians, yeah, the Indian community will be caught up there.
Right, so they are bandits too.
Yeah.
Just the Africans is bandits, Indians is bandits, we are bandits.
Yeah,
all
it's
kind of
white
race
collar
are bandits.
versus blue collar.
Yeah. So the Africans is the blue collar
and the proliferation.
And the East Indians is the white collar.
The other day when we did our research and we looked at, and I was in fact saying, well, 99% of the people, or 97% of the people in the prison would be Africans. It's not so. In fact, there are more Indians in the community, slight, about 40-something%, versus slight above that percentage of Africans. So what we had to boil down to, because the discussion was these blue-collar crimes. But for sure, what we know is that the African community would be engaged, of course, at around that level as far as blue-collar crime is concerned.
Nice. Right, so what we have to do is holistically, not only...
We have a caller, Andy. We have a caller. Let's engage.
All right, take on...
Good morning.
Right, but I want you.
Good morning.
I want you was waiting.
Good morning. Go ahead. No, we have one here still. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Listen, there's an AM school, African Methodist First Club on Woodford Street in Woodbrook. So I heard there's guys talking as well, there's no school for Africans.
Oh, I see.
Right? Mr. Smith, you should know about it. It's on Woodford Street.
Yes. I'm
So tell this fella about that, man. Thank you.
All right. But the discussion was broader than that. But go ahead. Yes.
But before we take this call, because I have a caller here. Hold on, caller. We're not going to get you there. Because I like to close off things at an extent. It mustn't be left open for people to make mischief. So we call on our Roger Alexander, with his Homeland Security and National Security Minister, all of them. When dealing with crime in Trinidad and Tobago, we ask this government, please, don't only focus on the blue-collared crime, which is the African, it's a majority. Please focus on the white-collared crime too. It is a crime, and it is damaging the country as much as the shooters and the killers and the car thieves and them. We need to focus on the blue-collared crime, on the white-collared crime, very serious too. Because all of them bad. All. Crime is crime. All bad. So focus, please. Get the professionals. Get the hardware. Get the skill in order to really and truly tackle, pay the people that in that sector to rope in those them white-collared criminals and them with the fraud and the thieving, with politicians and that, business people and that. Pay proper, educated professionals to also go hard, like how we going hard on the blue-collared crime. We need to show that balance and go hard on the white-collared crime too. Go ahead, caller.
Right. Morning, Andy, and Lennox, and
Good morning.
Director, and everybody else. I want to quickly clap back on a statement made by a previous caller immediately before me, where he said, in the 1960s, the prison was filled with a lot of East Indians. Yes, that might be so, but there is another subtle issue that people might not really understand in that point in time. The whole of the police service, 99.9% were African. And what they do, they maliciously prosecuted a lot of East Indian, and they targeted them to intimidate them. Saying that, I am agreeing with Andy. We have to go after the white-collar criminal, not only the blue, and understand that list, what that list is doing. That list that was given to our national security and by extension the Prime Minister will tell us both the white and the blue-collar criminals. And we have to be very careful how we do that. We need competent police officers to prosecute those things. Another issue that people are taking it lightly. Our 360 radar had a couple of blind spots. And to make sure we have a 360, we needed additional radar capability. And I'm not going to say any more. We have adequate radar capability now. Minister Sturge indicated that opposition Mava MP apparently is causing couture or he is incompetent, asking certain questions that should not be divulged into the space, the national space. That is basically the now capability of a 350. Because what he said, if you listen carefully, based on those radars, we are getting a lot of the drugs coming in, because it might have been purposely done to keep areas open to facilitate the drug trafficking. That is what our Prime Minister said when Maduro left for North America. She said, do not be surprised if high government officials and respected persons are caught up in this issue. The fact we have additional radar capabilities now, within the last 3 to 4 months, we have had big drug busts. But things are still coming through. You know why things are still coming through? We have miscreants in the public, in the police service, the Coast Guard. That is why we change a lot of those Coast Guard. For example,
and in immigration and customs.
Yeah, the whole.
They are allowing things to pass.
Right, the whole national security apparatus has collapsed. For example, this is where I'm going. We have blocked off. Now we have total sight 360 with the radar, but we still have officers in all through the national security will still tell the drug laws and them, you have a window of opportunity to come in between 9 and 10 because we're changing shift. Just like the police service, when they change in shift, some drivers do all kind of things. So we have to weed out. And we have to remember the police service has collapsed since the day of policing. 5 police commissioners have not been able to discipline all of those senior policemen in GEB and what they call special branch who were part of the 2nd Division, who were part of the policing. They have been catapulted into the executive of the police service. The same thing, the police service car tell us what happened with Brent Thomas, 4 police commissioners, and they still can't resolve that issue after 3 years. That tells you how we are lawless dump, because our people, our servicemen have not been chosen based on meritocracy and competency. Because that's why we have the collapse of the police promotional service. You put miscreants at the top.
Thank you very much, and you're so right. Next caller, morning caller, we're calling from. What's your contribution on the Going Report this morning?
Hello, good morning. I'm calling from Pfizer, from Point. Hello? Point. Yeah, what's taking place is I have a little problem. I don't know if you could help me solve it. We working on the open space project, and we get a message yesterday on the on a WhatsApp group stating that today is the last day until further notice, but we haven't been paid for the past 4 fortnights, and I happen to oversee on the checker phone that a document stating that from head office that we have been paid, but we only, they say they owe me for 1 fortnight, which is, it was underlined in blue, in yellow, but at present we only collect 2 fortnights for last year, the December when we started, and I believe the first fortnight in January, and so far, well, today they say we finished, but we don't know when we come back on. and we didn't get no word on
Wait, right.
you know, when we get...
Hold on. Let me just first start to understand. You say you're working in the open space project. What is that? I don't know what is that. That is our company? What is that? What are you talking about?
No, that do replacement of the CPEP. That did the pilot project. Was on the 3 months contract. Today is the last day.
Under the Ministry of Local Government.
Okay, so you are saying that since you all started work, you all only get paid from since December. We in March now, that you all only get paid twice?
Once in check and once in the bank. And that is it. And we haven't been paid so far. And well, we was using our own tools prior, but eventually the board worked for us, and our esteemed minister take from his pocket and buy tools like wheelbarrow and all the other tools for us. He bought it for us personally because they said we had to bring our own tools. So we working, we maintaining the cemetery, the schools.
Hold on. Your MPs who?
The union, Mr. Kiza.
Mr. Tisa. All right, Lennox Smith, let me try to get to find out from, and you saying so you call it from the point aspect, and you are saying that that point,
we was getting obstacle from the CEO director. It was when the first day we went, if I tell you the introduction, when we went the first day to start on the 15th of January, the kind of speech this woman said, it was politically motivated. We come like, we didn't even want to work that day. The kind of thing she tell us that day, but she knew we come from, who sent we, and she liked to meet people like we who have people, and it was embarrassing. It was really embarrassing, but she had nobody come here to look for she, for the mayor, because they had to dress, and everybody was appropriately dressed. Everybody was dressed appropriate, and you know the topics. We didn't call for the job.
What I own really and truly, I really don't want to hear about all of that. My interest is all they have not been paid, all they have been owed, all their contract up to date, and that's not looking good.
We have an idea.
That's not looking good.
And we don't know when we're going back out. We don't even know when we're going back out. We just have a message from the phone
I'll tell you what. I just got information, Andy, that Mr. X and the succeeding program will be communicating with the Honorable Minister, and let's hope that clarity. They are listening as well. They're already here, and of course, some of these matters could be cleared up. Right. So, caller, stay tuned to Talk City, and you will get all the clarification that you want with respect to those matters. I'm sure that they are taking copious notes. Let's go to the next call.
You have to pay. Go ahead, next caller. No, well, I don't want to believe that people are not being paid. If you work, remember, it's not much people was hired.
As well, so I find it a bit challenging to conceive that, but I suppose clarity will come in the next takeover.
All right. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Hi, good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. A pleasant weekend to both of you.
Nice dress, Ulrich. What's up, my brother?
What's up is that I went to renew my license day before yesterday. And after seeing that thing with the license officer and the gentleman, you know, I went down there, and every time one of them pass in front of me, I shoot. Like every time I see them, like I hate just coming inside of me, boy, because really and truly, them is personal. Them is real pest, and you wouldn't believe they are hated more than police, eh? Believe it or not, they are hated more than police because they always abuse their authority, and that man didn't do what he was doing just so. Every action does lead to a reaction, and that is what took place that day, and I have done that man as a hero in my book. And they need to really check at all these black people who hold in position, like the brain, like it have a colonial chip in it. I feel all of them need checking because it's something that going on with all these people, especially the black ones. And the women, oh God, them is the worst. Go up in the airport where these people that Jack wanna create job for, these people in black and white, traffic warden. Well, them is the worst. Them is another set. Because the court say if you touch one of them, it's $10,000 fine. They feel they are above God, so they can do anything. So all the things that you see happening in the country today, every action bring about a reaction. And Alexander and them, so he damaged, you know. He damaged real bad. So I will listen to people like them. So anyway, Andy, have a blessed day. I don't really want to talk on the politics, so they are fed up.
All right. Hey, let's go for a quick break and come back. When we come back, more right here on the Gong Report. We'll be back.
Will you ever notice how water is part of everything we do? From singing in the shower, to washing the car, to cooling off after a long day. Here's a friendly reminder from WASA. Before you move, before you relax, before you enjoy the day, pay your WASA bill. It's easy to do. Pay online anytime at wasa.gov.tt. Visit a WASA customer service center. Use the self-service kiosk or pay at authorized partners like Western Union and commercial banks. Water is life, and we're evolving to serve you. Join the evolution. Pay your bill. This message is brought to you by the Water and Sewage Authority.
Wake up to the issues that matter most on the Ground Report. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. for real talk, real analysis, and real perspectives on the stories shaping our nation. News, current affairs, and voices from the ground, unfiltered and unapologetic. That's the Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it loud.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, Lord.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back, we are back, we are back. Time check. It's 32 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City 91.1 FM. You're also listening to us and viewing. Yes, you can see us on our several social media platforms available to you. Again, let me say a pleasant good morning to all my drivers. I have to always. And I'm going on a massive campaign soon. I'll be going by all those maxi stands, taxi stands, P8 stands, various parts and various tongues. So go on us, I will hit various things. I'll be hitting Port of Spain, the various stands and them that carry and meet up with my drivers and them back. I'll go, Arima stands and get all who live in the different stands and them. And bounce back up with all my drivers. I'll be going all up there in Grandy. All are going all down Point 14 Library. Yeah, going all down there so to bounce up with my drivers and them they only. Yeah. Let them know where the Ground Report at. Let them know Talk City is the way to be. Yeah, that's just how it go, man. Let them bounce up the pit bull for a long time. I ain't see all my drivers and them. Okay, so let's go.
Simultaneously, we have to, of course, to let the budding and the current business people, whether medium, small, or otherwise, know that we are here, and therefore our reach is far, 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 far greater and massive. And so here's the place, of course, to
that's why I'm telling them. That's why I'm showing them. That's why I'm showing them the extent that the Ground Report going.
Yes.
We hitting.
Yes.
And where any business person when it come in to the product will want to advertise other than the Ground Report. Wait, that be real. Where you're sure on a morning while people going to work and people coming from work, the Ground Report have all the drivers locked down. Like thousands of people. And it have people home in the house. And it have people playing in the business too. So I don't know what time it is.
And the only program that they put on their dial for their customers, their commuters that they would have had, their passengers they would have had in their vehicles, commuting to wherever, listening. So therefore you will get all your ads there, and therefore your potential customers will come from there as well.
What's our next guarantee to all of the businessmen that have the potential and want to advertise on the Ground Report? You know what's the code when it comes to the drivers? If anybody come in their taxi or the maxi, the PH vehicle, the 7-seater, who taking a drop, it have people take drop with drivers in the morning. If they come in and they say, on this radio station under this program, and they say drive, change that, you know. I don't want to hear the dog and that big word, man, you know. Put that on gospel, put that on some music or something, you know, drive, change that dial. Business people, you know what they just do? They just put them out of their maxi, put them out. They just put them out of their taxi. They can't tell them drivers change it. They just watch them in the mirror, stop and put them out. And if they're taking a drop, you know, no law and catch up with you yet. We just throw them out. Yeah, taking
That's
a
right.
drop and
But of course, we have a caller. Welcome, caller. We lost that one. We have another one. Good morning. Welcome to the Ground Report.
Good morning, Andy, to you and your co-host. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
You all remember in 2013 or 14 when Bobby Head Rodeo went in Parliament with a false email. The same thing Rhoda Barrett, this Barrett coming out with Annie Roberts. And we senator is a pedophile. What happened to this woman? But when she had nothing to do, why she does it? She left. We are accustomed to them kind of thing. UNC forever, and they were afraid about the performance. Just imagine this government, this party government for the last 6 months. Leave the first 3 months. The 3 months is a swaying for the board appointments. You have to read a budget. In the last 6 months, this government started to work. And the kind of work and the kind of performance that this government going, Laura Barrett and them is just on sickness, they're sick. All that millions of dollars she made from inputs. Let me hope she have money to go and pay and Roberts, you know. She climb in the right tree. She climb in a Google Best tree. You know what is a Google Best tree? A Google Best tree pick her long like an inch. So let she climb up that tree. She climb in the right tree. All right, have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. Next caller, go ahead.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Today is Friday the 13th, Black Friday. I see some politicians and them going down by the parliament today to extend the state of emergency for the next 3 months. But you know, as KFC, I ain't giving up. I life, I tell strength. I keeping up big fire. I ain't getting nothing on a platter. So, I'll keep fighting. Somebody might hear me cry. And give me that space and my opportunity, give me that opportunities, because I ain't giving up, you know, and they are trying, because I'm a man work hard, and I need, when I look for no handout, you know.
How your voice
I look for no hamper, no food card, you know, and they,
how your voice changed?
Saturday, Friday, right? I was giving a story, but when I was working and I get robbed. I give you a story about a politician who, before he was a politician, we used to call him Spock. He used to talk on Power 1 or 2. A youth man snatch his phone and he beat him highway down there. You know, get it back for him? I went and get it back for him, carry him by the boss man and get him back and get back his phone. So, I that man do go in my life too. And right now, they're there and they're not answering my call and give me no kind of response. But I don't understand, Andy. This game, nobody cares about nobody, every man for their own self. And they're looking out for their own self and they're trying to victimize me. KFC. They're screaming calls, they're sending calls to ministers.
But KFC, but you know why too? You going good. Why you change your voice? When you call them, you have to keep talking so. And then...
All right, Andy. I'm going to get back. I'm put back on my dress.
Right.
Good morning to all of you who love to understand. All Lennox. Was I'm not seeing them from the boys.
Yes, well, you know what you have to do?
I can pass and check you later. But I write that thing when I go down there later. I can see somebody who's in her 30s who could assist me. For me to think, and you have a good day.
What I suggest, KFC, that you call me because it's a bit puzzling. I don't know exactly who to address it to. So if you could call me, I will, before you pay passage and waste all that time to come and, you know, we might have to do something else. So just do that. Of course, he raised a very important issue, Andy, which is one I would have mentioned. So I'm glad that he did it. So there's no need for me to do so. And that is the extension of the SOE. Yes, the Parliament will be assembling today, will be meeting today to extend the SOE for another 3 months. I think it should take us up to June of this year. So look forward to that as well, and I'm sure that will be the subject of a debate probably next week. Andy.
Yeah. There we go back to the lines here. There you go back. Boy, oh Lord, boy, today Friday. Hey, we are laughing life. We go there, you know. We had a laugh and thing, you know. What?
Of course.
Boy, he give me a real laugh there, boy.
Yeah, variety is the spice of life, we go do. It can't be boring and monotonous. No. We have a caller.
Caller. Yeah. Caller, morning. Go ahead. Welcome to the Gong Report, man. Hey.
Morning, gentlemen. Barack Paul here. KFC had a what he sells Skeet Scotland Olim, you know. So be careful, you know. Yeah, with our dress and voice thing we trying there. But anyway, gentlemen, you know, we could tit for tat with this situation all the time, and it would always come down to the same thing about some kind of racist issue and all this kind of thing. And that is not the issue here. And we could talk about locking up white-collar criminals and blue-collar criminals and the ones them who snatch and chain and all kind of thing, and that still wouldn't solve the problem. That could just be like, you know, putting plaster on sore. We in Trinidad and Tobago are faced with a societal and cultural issue that is making the entire population look bad, and the country, and mostly of the African community. And who want to debate that and go around it and try to look for all kind of different excuses, that is a fact. All you have to take that with water, like Zaba Peak, and enjoy it. Because that is facts.
Yeah.
You understand? And then we had, this is something I always tell you, there are no easy fix for that. And you had to always start from the genesis of anything to be able to know how to get up ahead and what you could do and all this kind of thing. Now, Malcolm X talk about disadvantage. And you see, people could look at things through their eyes and feel that, oh, okay, they look at something at disadvantage. I could tell you, growing up in down south and thing, that whole community there, as you pass Caroni Bridge, was disadvantaged. Because we were cane cutters, we were grass cutters, we were farmers, and we were saying, and the majority of all the other people who was working there was working in government public service thing. I could remember when I used to fold my shoes with all kind of different guardian paper to make it up, because that's my brother's shoes I used to wear to go to school. My African brothers and classmates and thing that was in the class there was done wearing brand name sneakers and always have fancy thing with the afro hair, afro pick stick up in the hair, and they're looking top of the line. When I was wearing one school uniform for 3 years, going to junior, second, all this kind of thing, hiding. And that is after I don't help my father cut cane. Get up 3 o'clock in the morning, go and help me cut cane, wash my hand with Clorox, and go to grab my bag and put my roti in it and go to school. But you see what people don't understand. Everybody's talk about investment. The greatest investment anybody can make is in the children. And my father make that investment for his 6 children. And everybody now have their own homes, living good lives, and now their children are better off than where we was when my father started off. How much of that community invested in the children? Look, I see a video with a young boy in a maxi trying to rob somebody, and all of them inside they're talking about that way they good for, that way they, but who are making these children them? They are falling from the sky. How much people you hear this call and talk about, well, I was a single parent with 4 children and all this kind of thing, and the government are doing nothing for me. Look, that one who just called just now is an prime example of that, where the government doing for them. And that is what mislead this ethnic group of people when they started to idolize Eric Williams and say, this is my God, this is my savior. He would take care of me. I don't have to do nothing. Just make children, have different women all over the place and thing, and just enjoy life. And don't study to make an investment in your children. Now, let me tell you something. If you go to a primary school and you're walking into a primary school and see all these little children laughing and playing and all kind of thing, you would ever say one of them going to be a chain snatcher, one of them going to be a killer, one of them, you would never see that. But who are the people who ended up being that? It's children. So if you cannot invest in your children, And that's why there's always say the only leader that you could look into the dictionary or Google it and thing, and it would fit what a leader means in this country was Satmaraj. People go vex and call you all kind of thing. But Satmaraj take all the ridicule, all the humiliation, and he stick with the group that he was the leader of. And remember, it always had us saying that from the cowshed to the universities, and he stick with that and invested in his community. All they call him racist and this and that. Which African leader who you could say do the same and say, hey, hear what, I'm gonna stick with my people and my culture and let them know that, oh, hey, hear what, we can't live like how we live in. We have to change. We have to invest in our children. We have to look, let me tell you something. When my children was growing up, it hardly had a weekend that I wasn't parked up in some private lessons compound and waiting for 2-3 hours while my children go and take extra lessons. I could have been liming because I work whole week. I went to lime for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I up early in the morning to drop my children to get extra lessons and make sure that I take no chances with them. Now I could rock back and enjoy the fruits of my labor. And that is my investment. I could have what car, what this, what that. And changing our culture now, especially where it reach, where the population is overwhelmed with poverty and this kind of thing. Now, 1 or 2 people would decide that what Barack was saying makes sense and make that change. Look, you do it, Andy, but in the position a lot of people is right now, they can't go now and say, hey, what I have 4 children, let me leave my single parent work and stay home and see about my children, because they follow and they invested in a culture that lead them the wrong way. And that's what we had to deal with in this country. And to change that and to see any change, it'll take years. That can happen just.
Thank you very much. It will. I have to play some of those voice notes, and I think we had to get a break. Snipes, because I have some voice notes I have to get rid of, boy.
All right, so let's go to the voice notes.
All right, yeah, boy, real plenty. People go quarrel, boy. Way. I forget about them voice notes.
Good morning, Andy. Andy, I'm late, man. I'm late. I cannot picking up right now. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago, my manners. Hey, I like this topic. Very good, very good. I had an incident. I was working in the jail years ago, a couple of good years ago in Broward. And I had this guy, young man, which I friend of mine very, very well. He come to my friend in Fort Lauderdale, and they know him very well. His parents from the Bahamas, and they sent him over United States to go to college, buy a car and everything for him. And he get involved with some guys were doing wrong things. I don't know what they were doing, drugs and all kind of stuff. And that was using his car. And one day they was going down somewhere in Broward, and the cops stopped him because they had the wrong number plate. And he stopped him to give him a ticket. That's all it was. And he was driving. And they pull out, when the cop stopped with a check, he pulled out a gun, shot the cop, killed him. Pulled the guy. And he ended up in jail. Well, I was working, and I met him. And I asked him what he's doing here, man. And he told me the story. He was upstairs on the 10th floor. And I was doing my medical run. I was doing the phlebotomist and EKG check. I was doing all the medical for them. And he found himself over there. And his parents sacrificed for him. Because if he loses business now, the parents have to mortgage his business, sell somebody's business, and to get his son out of the jail. I don't know if they get him out of the jail because I never hear something from him ever since. So I'm just telling you now, is you have good kids and they run up in the wrong company and they run in the wrong crowd. So that is what happened. You know, that is what happened with kids. You have to be very careful who you associate yourself with. My mother always say, friends carry and never bring you back. And I learned that, and I teach my kids that. My kids never get into trouble. Never, never, never. I taught them. I teach them. Never. They went to school. They do very well. I'm proud of them. So I just let you know that most of the time is not the parent. It's a kid to find yourself associated with the wrong crowd. All right?
Good day, Andy. Looks like Anna Roberts is taking Rhoda Barath to court now. Listen for yourself.
Brother Barak, congratulations, you posted, you share it. Go ahead, girl. Because the court coming are willing, able, and are going to walk up and down the steps until the court case finished. Bless to the rest of the population, ignore the PNM.
Good morning to the Magnificent Tree. What I'm going to say this morning, some people might say, well, I'm wrong, some people might say, all right, but I'll state it under any case. I'm going to talk about your constitutional rights. And after I sit back and I study from the time man born, there's no rights to man. Constitutional rights. From the time man born to obey. And man born to obey the law of man and also the law of God. But there is a problem when something happens, right? And you believe now that you're right. But your right will have to be determined in a court of law, not by you or anybody else. You can park your car off the road and a man hit you off the road. Still the police will tell you you could be charged, although that you wasn't involved in any accident, that you off the road. And then you still have to go to court to prove that you're right. If you so right with your constitutional rights, you still don't have to go to court. The court has to determine now if you're right or wrong. The other thing is, 4 men was in a pipeline and they have constitutional rights too. And how nobody send nobody to rescue them. But the constitutional right should have make you send somebody to rescue them. So you see right there again, what is the sense of having rights? You see, at the end of the day, we will believe we have rights, but there's no rights. Because even when you have some matter, they will say a man is innocent until proven in a court of law. Right? The other thing, the PNM going about telling you about clause 11 and the infringe on your rights in the SOE. It's just a total lie. The PNM only trying to get the public to rail up. And at the end of the day, them trying to win an election from now on. Right? So it have no rights. I want Trinidadian to understand. It have no rights in the world. You are born to obey. And when you're born, you have to stay within the law. And when you break the law, you'll make a jail. And someone, when a man come by you and he break the law against you, you and I can still lose. And he break the law him against you. So if that happens, so there's no constitutional rights. Believe it or not. None for none.
And to the bossman, I want to give you a number to call where you can bash your own people. Number is 666. Call that number. Call the devil and talk to the devil. Because you're not supporting this government. Right? You're supporting the elite. One against, waste of time, opposition. Call them and talk to them. Or call this government and bash this government. We don't need nobody who don't like themselves and like their own family. Right? If you like the family, you would have, if you like yourself, you'll be calling this and saying something good. Don't try to bash this UNC government. Doing better than satanic Lucifer opposition who was there before.
Morning, yeah. So a demonstration of confidence in Trinidad and Tobago showed up in the press a couple of days ago. A steel mill is to be built, well, iron mill is to be built in Trinidad and Tobago. And that demonstrates, and it's mostly direct foreign investment, there's a local company involved, but this demonstrates that foreign companies are confident in Trinidad and Tobago to supply gas for a steel iron plant. This local company had bought our old steel mill back in 2019, couldn't get it running because shortage of gas. And that shortage of gas is because the former regime did not pursue gas as it should have. I used to tell you all about the 9 drill ships in the Gulf of Paria sitting for 4 years doing nothing. That is why there's a shortage. Anyhow, now there's this new company, and they intend to build a iron plant using the direct reduction method, which uses hydrogen mainly. And they're going to try to use green hydrogen. So they're going to set up their own desalination plant to get the hydrogen from seawater and use that in the reduction phase. Go Google direct reduction iron production and see how it works. In the reduction phase mainly, but you're still going to need natural gas. And you're still going to need natural gas for electricity generation. Iron smelting is done with electrodes, electricity, right? And even if you intend to use hydrogen, these big foreign companies, including IBM, would not have confidence if we did not have a steady gas supply. Because it come like you wanted to go off-grid using solar for your house. You would still want a TNT connection for, just in case. Right? It's like that. They want to know that we have a steady, reliable gas supply. That demonstrates that they believe that because of the things Trinidad has done and their connection with the US and Venezuela and Guyana and we are the closest downstream industry to all of that. We are about to be at the core of downstream oil and gas products.
Morning. Andy, there's a huge controversy about this raider in Tobago, right? I think it was last month. The press interviewed Madame Bissessa outside the parliament and asked her if there's a cost to the raider. She said that the raider costs $3 million to run each day. The same one that the US military put in Tobago. But she said the taxpayer is not paying that bill. However, I was listening to I-95.1 this morning with Ernie and Bert, right? The two long-standing talk show hosts with many years of experience, and they were saying that Sturge is adamant that he wants something else put in that is cheaper and would not be so expensive because it seems to be a burden on the economy. So I want to know if the government continues to withhold information from the public, act in a secret manner, or in some cases move in a way that people consider to be sneaky and cagey, then all these gaps will be filled by propaganda, false stories, the media will distort things, etc. But in that case, the government look for it because the government is not informing the people about what agreement was signed with USA, past and present since this regime took office, right? Because it is raising eyebrows, and the talk on the media is the government is supporting war crimes, which is what I said recently. Also, I want to tell the government of Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister should try and come out of this arrangement with supporting US President Donald Trump, because I think Trump is starting to become a murderous, raging demon. He's a serial killer. He is a tyrannical dictator. Do you know that Trump has told South Africa?
Do you know South Africa? Quick, because
that because of how they are not listening to him and doing his bidding, he's going to drop some bombs and missiles on them. Now, if the government of Trinidad and Tobago is associating this country with a regime that hijacks boats, bombs countries, kidnaps leaders, and dictates the pace of how things should run, then we are in a very sorry situation.
Thank you very much. It's weekend. Don't forget later, Pagos for Lennox.
Oh,
Smith.
yes.
And
Coming
up next, as you say, so you all were clear on the issues of people getting the money out of that work program that was created.
Yes, that
so
make
stay
work
locked
program
on.
that was,
so stay locked on to Mr. X and our boy Stefan Rees on off the record, okay? So Trinidad to go after God from the concerns. Be safe on the nation's roads until Monday morning, please God. Yes, Monday morning, please God. Same time, same place, right here on Talk City. The Ground Report. We are out of here.
That's right.
TTT News every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here with voices you know, trust, and respect. respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry-Leen Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
It's all good right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your